Welcome into the Iceplex here, Raleigh, North Carolina. Ethan Berry and Zach Selwye alongside you once again. We apologize for the technical difficulties. No pregame stand-up for us today, Zach. First game of the new semester, NC State taking on the Delaware Blue Hens. Quite the name, I might add. Delaware's good as we get ready for face-off here, and I just want to let you guys know we're doing something we've never done before with the scoreboard. We've got a clock, and we hope you guys enjoy that. May have a few issues with it tonight, but I think it'll improve our broadcast, especially the viewership. Zach, let's get to the Delaware Blue Hens. They're good. They're 14-9. Don't let their record deceive you. They've played a bunch of good teams. Steven Bryson, leading scorer, 20 goals, 22 assists. Ryan Moore, 16 goals, 20 assists. Alec Rankin and Ryan Lowe each have 11 goals. They're actually ranked 7th in the Southeast by the ACHA. You've watched a little bit of Delaware. What do you think of them?
They're fast, and NC State, considering all their defensive lapses they had in last semester, they're really their off semester. Rather, you have their practices really need to step up in this scenario right here, get their defense tight. Because what I noticed from Delaware is that they're able to capitalize on any chance that you miss with that puck because they're speedy and they're quick down the middle. Sam Benishevitz talked to us before the game and said this was going to be a very difficult matchup tonight. So they really need to make sure their puck control is steady and strong.
Eric Bamberg in the net for Delaware. They have 3 goalies, and they use all 3 of them. Bamberg gets the start tonight. He's 5-6 on the season. Joey Hall in net for the Wolfpack as we get ready.
And don't let Eric Bamberg's record deceive you. He's a tall goaltender, and NC State has not historically done well against tall goaltenders, so this will be a matchup for their shot aim.
State wins the face-off. Can't tell who the other goalie that Delaware has with them today is. Steven Odgers does have 9 starts on the season as well. Here's State's early shot wide there. Koeklenberg down to fetch it. Too far for Banishevitz behind the net. Delaware's going to get it out of the zone. Delaware, not a member of the ACCHL, so this is a non-conference game. And we mentioned how good they were. This is the best team NC State's going to face all year. Virginia's the stiffest competition in the ACCHL. This is going to be this team is better than Virginia from the looks of it.
And Ethan, you also got to think too, even though this game doesn't matter for points, this is important for momentum. Next season, of course, is the doubleheader between Clemson and Charlotte.
Next weekend,
yes. But still, this is an important game momentum-wise.
Yeah, next weekend we'll be in Charlotte, and then on Saturday we'll be in Clemson. Shot there, deflected wide. Centering pass behind the net. NC State in the black home jerseys that we usually see them in. Delaware wearing white jerseys, blue pants, and a little bit of yellow trim, blue helmets. As I mentioned, Delaware's 7th in the rankings on the ACHA. Just for reference, Virginia is the highest ranked team. I checked this morning. I may not be 100% accurate. Here's an opportunity for Delaware. Joey Hall tries to cover up. Can't. And we're going to have a penalty here early.
Looks like to be a slashing call. I'm not sure on who Ellis Rushford was, the stick that was broken right there, but it seems as if he's the one that's going to the box. And that's an issue that we saw a lot of last semester. Ellis Rushford was one of the leading players for NC State in penalty minutes, and this is not a good sign early on. We're not even 2 minutes into the game. NC State, this is a critical kill. I talked about this in an article that I wrote this morning for the NC State Hockey website. The special teams has been incredibly important to the NC State Icepack, and for the fact that they went 6 for 8 against the Chapel Hill Tar Heels, that's not good. They need to be going 100% on these kills.
So Ellis Rushford takes the seat. Delaware gets the first power play of the game. They'll look to gain control in the zone. Good defense there from Ryan Kinney, one of your favorite players. Gets it sent down deep. Another penalty, and this one's going to be on Delaware. So that'll cancel out after 22 seconds. That'll cancel out the Delaware penalty, and we're going to be playing 4-on-4 here early.
That'll be an interference call right there. And as you saw on the penalty kill, that was a beautiful job of NC State penalty kill. NC State was able to position themselves effectively in that situation to eliminate any possible chances right there. That's a really great job. And over the course of December, this penalty kill has improved, and it's not even 22 seconds into that power play, and I just saw the incredible advancements that NC State has made. So they got the message.
Banishevitz, Jimenez, Hudson, and Wing out there for the Pack. For this minute and a half of 4-on-4 before NC State will have a short power play. Here's Delaware headed the other way. There's Bryson. Got to keep an eye on him. Nice pass, knocked down Joey Hall. Rebound. I believe that was also denied. That was Perry. Tyler Perry got a goal and 11 assists for Delaware so far. Nice pass from Jimenez to Banishevitz. 1-on-4. He'll fire. Deflected wide. Hudson down there for the Pack. Jimenez gets it. Works around a defender. Delaware gets it back out. Chris Wing collects it. Good to have Chris back. He missed a couple games.
That is actually Cam Mazikowski.
Oh, that is Mazikowski. Excuse me. Still good to have Chris Wing back, even if that wasn't him. Mazikowski's out here looking to hit somebody. Wing missed a few games. Here's Koeklenberg. Backhand. Shut down. Shut down again off the rebound.
You know, I can't count shots right now, but I think NC State's actually leading. They're leading an incredible offensive charge right now, especially as you saw right there from John Koeklenberg. Incredible offense from the defense.
Centering pass out in front. Delaware can't gain control. NC State will send it all the way down. 18 seconds to go on the 4-on-4.
You know, Ethan, we were talking about how good Delaware is. This is not something I expected. Delaware is the one that kind of looks flustered right now. NC State looks composed.
Pass out in front, and it's kicked aside. Bieberdorf had a great opportunity. That's going to do it for 4-on-4, so State's got 22 seconds of a power play. We'll see if they can make anything of it. Chris Wing behind the net. That's going to get out of the zone. 15 seconds to go. Dumped back in. There's Chris Wing. Finds Trevor Merchant. Merchant gets knocked down. Alfonsetti all the way down. 5 seconds to go on the power play. There's Merchant. He'll fire it. Pass from Alfonsetti off the deflected shot from Merchant. State keeps it in the zone. Down low, there's Bieberdorf back up top. There's Ellis Rushford. Shot blocked out in front. Bieberdorf can't get to it. And Delaware gets it out. Rushford tried to keep it in, couldn't. Physical game so far, a bunch of big hits. As we know, Cam Mazikowski always one for a big hit. Pass out in front. Great save, Joey Hall. Looked like that opportunity came out of nowhere. Delaware was on the doorstep, and Joey Hall kicked it aside.
He's looking sharp, and that's what NC State needs. Defensive lapses are going to be common tonight, and he needs to stand tall.
That's going to be an icing.
We were talking earlier, Ethan, about how important it is to have Chris Wing back on this team. And let's just talk about how good of a player he is. He's not going to appear up on the stat sheet way too much. But the thing is, what I've noticed when I watch him play, he's an anchor. He's that kind of guy that's going to make the small plays, that are going to make things happen on that second line of defense. And that's what you need. You don't need a massive point production on defense. You just need good anchor guys like a Chris Wing. It's great to have the team president back here.
He's going to be tough to replace next year, on and off the ice. Hudson takes that one away. Delaware gets it back. Good game so far. 5 minutes in. Shot there goes wide from center ice. Delaware keeps it in. Battle along the boards. There's Hudson. Down in the corner. Delaware gets it out. Jurgensen. His shot's deflected. We'll see who gets to it first. Delaware keeps it in. Momentarily, another big hit from Linsmeyer. Kristoff will collect it. There's Hudson. He fires it in, deflected. Kicked aside.
One guy I'm liking from Delaware right now is number 22, Sean Camisa. He's been getting into those deep areas right there and really pressuring NC State. So that's the kind of offense that NC State needs to be careful of in this game.
Costigan gets hit hard on the boards. Delaware out in front. Puck gets knocked down. That was Linsmeyer. Good opportunity for Delaware. Another shot there. Joey Hall holds that one. Pretty good crowd tonight. Not a great crowd.
Still a Friday night, and after a big game against Clemson last night, you would feel that a lot of the fans would be tired. That was a nail-biting game right into the end, but still, to show that the fan support is here, getting ready, for the next Backyard Brawl, which will be on the 29th, it's good to see that we have fan support.
Talking about basketball, the game against Clemson. A little bit of a hold-up here on the face-off.
Joey Hall's made some pretty good saves, as you've seen right there. They haven't been highlight reel saves by any means, but they've been the saves that matter.
Whiffed on the shot there was Delaware, and got a whistle.
It looks like it was deflected off a high stick, and that's why they're going to stop the play right there. Not a play that happens too often. Players try to stray away from that happening, but in some instances it does just because they're trying to create a play happen. But in that event, the faceoff's going to go back in the NC State end.
I was pretty confused. There was no way they could call a penalty on that, but they got it all sorted out now as they have another discussion. Delaware's down here in North Carolina for 3 games. If I'm not mistaken, it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that they're playing.
That's correct. They're facing
deflected wide there from Hall.
They're facing Charlotte tomorrow night and UNC Chapel Hill on Sunday.
Icing called here. Yeah, Delaware, they like to test themselves. They played 23 games already. I'm honestly not sure if this is their first game of the semester or not.
And that's a big thing to talk about as well, Ethan, for the fact that NC State has a smaller schedule than Delaware. Coming in, Delaware is the more experienced team this season playing-wise. NC State has had more practice time necessarily, but still, this is a big game between experience and the young guns of NC State.
Banashevitz will take this face-off. Tries to win it forward, can't. Delaware comes in 14-9. Looking over their schedule, the only common opponent that these two teams have is Millersville. Delaware beat them 10-5. The puck's down in the corner. State lost. I believe the score was 5-3 early in the season. So
Delaware is also on a 2-game win streak after an 11-3 win over Stevenson University just before break. So this is the game they're trying to get a 3-game win streak. NC State trying to go for that 4th game in their win streak.
There's Bryson again, number 26. Told you to keep an eye on him. Ryan Morse, the second leading goal scorer, number 7. Don't see him on the ice right now. State's going to look to build momentum. They've got a big road trip next week, as you mentioned. Charlotte on Friday, Clemson on Saturday. That one's kicked out of play. Clemson will be another good non-conference test for the Pack. And then Charlotte, you're looking to build your what am I trying to say? Build your strength in the standings, I guess. That's pretty bad phrasing, but.
And Charlotte's doing spectacular as well. As of this morning, they were 10-4-1, so NC State really needs to focus on that Charlotte game coming up.
Charlotte will be a good test for the Pack. Once again, they clinched. State did. Clinched the spot in the ACCHL tournament in February. I believe that is the weekend of February 19th. We'll be down in Charlottesville for that one. So State's really looking to position themselves now. And I'll tell you what, I talked about this last semester. It's super important to get the 1st or the 2nd seed. As this one's behind the net, we have a whistle. Good action there for the Pack. We'll see what comes out of this.
I like Jimenez right there trying to break up any scuffle. It looks like Delaware is really trying to test NC State and try to draw those unsportsmanlike conduct penalties because they know that the Icepack has had trouble on the penalty kill, but a good job right there staying disciplined, and that's something that State needs to do, and the State's going to go on the power play, it seems.
They sure are. That's number 8. Ryan Lowe taking a seat for Delaware. So State's going to have technically their 2nd power play of the game, but the first one was 20 seconds long.
That dude is huge. Ryan Lowe looks to be a very tall guy, and that's what NC State is running into trouble this season with, is tall players. And they really need to find a way to pass the puck effectively and not play too fancy.
State keeps it in the zone off the faceoff momentarily. Talk about Luis bringing up the chatter, I guess, with Eric Todd and a couple Delaware players. Banashevitz is knocked off the puck but keeps it in the zone. Luis is really like the team dad. He just reminds me of a dad in a bunch of different ways. He's a pretty funny guy, too. There's Banashevitz down in the zone. Delaware gets it out. There's Hudson across. Mazikowski. State's got to love what they've gotten from their first-year defenseman Cam Mazikowski.
7-goal season, hat trick against Wake Forest back in October.
And the physicality, too. That
Absolutely.
Delaware is going to look to send this one down the ice on this kerfuffle. Big hit there. 1-on-3 for Delaware. Short-handed shot is deflected well wide.
What a massive hit by Cam Mazikowski. That's that physicality we were just talking about. That was incredible.
56 seconds to go on the power play. State coming up. There's Luis Jimenez. He's knocked off the puck. Gets it back. Works around. Backhander. Save. Eric Bimberg got that one. We talked about Bimberg earlier. He's allowing 3.1 goals per game with a .908 save percentage. He's a tough goalie. Like you said, the record isn't indicative of how good he is, really.
Now, in collegiate hockey, those stats are actually pretty good because at this level, scoring is at a very high level compared to professional hockey leagues. So Aaron Bergberg is very good across the board.
Knocks that one down. 45 seconds to go. Delaware gets it out. Could have a shorthanded opportunity there. There's Morse, as we mentioned, second leading scorer. State gets back the puck in the defensive zone. There's Ellis Rushford working it in. Good play so far, just about 10 minutes in, 10 and a half minutes to go in the first period. 14 seconds left on the power play. State hasn't really been able to set anything up.
I'm really liking the Icepack's rush game, though. They're really rushing up the puck well into the zone and getting it set up. Even if they don't get a shot out, they're creating that offensive pressure that they needed to have going into this very difficult game.
Penalties over. State 0 for 2. Here's a 1-on-1 shot wide from Delaware. Battle down in the corner. And we've got another whistle. As I was talking about the ACCHL tournament, State really wants to position themselves in the number 1 or 2 spot because that first game you play on Friday, you really want to be able to have a comfortable lead heading into the third or maybe even the second period so that you can rest guys, because that 3 games in 3 days is a real grind, and you've got to be able to have a second goalie who you can be ready to put in too.
Considering for the fact as well that the UVA ice rink does have a shorter width.
Opportunity for Delaware off the post. Alec Rankin shot that one. Rushford behind the net. Good physical play from him, trying to yield off the Delaware player. No penalty called, not exactly sure how. Sent all the way back down.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened.
I think we may have gotten a penalty there.
Yeah, he came down and started sort of hugging Rushford down there. Was really holding him down on the ice, and that prevented Rushford from going anywhere. But what I was going back to, talking about the tournament in February, is that the ice rink at the UVA rink is actually shorter. It is smaller, and NC State really needs to tighten up their play because right now they're playing at an Olympic-sized rink. So really, it needs to step it up for this tournament.
Alec Rankin does take a seat. I was about to say, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a hockey rules expert, but there's just no way that wasn't a penalty. Dangerous play there from Joey Hall. State's got their third power play. We'll see if they can get a good opportunity here. There's Mazikowski. He gets knocked down. The puck sent all the way back down. Not much yet from State's top line, Banashevitz, Jimenez, and Eric Todd.
That was a great play right there to get the puck out of the zone by Anthony Jorgensen from Cam Mazikowski, who had that puck. Good defensive penalty killing from the Delaware Blue Hens.
There's Jimenez. Gets it back from Hudson. Across Mazikowski. His shot swallowed by Bimberg.
Special team setup is incredibly important, Ethan, and that's one thing I want to focus on throughout this game tonight as we venture into the Icepack's mission to make sure that their power plays are doing a great job. I like the way they're setting up right now where they got one guy in the middle of the slot, one guy close to the net. This creates a nice amount of traffic and plenty of opportunity for tipping. It's a great job being done here by Coach Gazzillo and his staff to improve this power play.
Mazikowski fires again. Another save from Bimberg. 8:35 to go.
And as you saw right there, beautiful puck movement at the blue line, and that's exactly what you need on a special teams play. Beautiful job right there, as you saw, between Sam Benashevitz and Davis Hudson. Just beautiful play all around, and you got to agree with me that this passing we've seen tonight has been remarkably better than what we've seen last semester.
It's been good for sure. State didn't really do much during the break. I believe they got back to practice last week. Or maybe just this week. I'm honestly not really sure. They look to set it up. 50 seconds to go on the power play. Hudson keeps it in. There's Alfonzetti. Down low, Bieberdorf. Merchant set up in front of the net. Bieberdorf can't get it to him. It's stuck. You're right about these Delaware kids. They're big. Pass across out in front. Merchant will get to it first. Delaware gets to it. Kept in by Mazakowski, excuse me. Delaware headed the other way, 2-on-2, now 1-on-2. And 17 seconds to go. They'll just look to kill some time. They do just that to perfection. 10 seconds to go. State still can't get the puck. Delaware working hard down there to kill off the penalty, which is exactly what they're going to do. State comes away with it. Penalty's over. Here's Hudson. Working, finds Alfonzetti, pass out in front, tipped and saved by Bimberg.
Beautiful slot positioning by Trevor Merchant. Great tip.
1-on-1 the other way. Delaware loses the puck. That was Jeremy DeWitt. 9 goals on the season. Going back to that save from Bimberg, I don't think he saw the puck. I think his glove just happened to be where the puck went.
Nonetheless, that was a big body in the tip. That was the closest opportunity State has had to getting a goal so far tonight. And you just saw there as well, Chris Wing did a great job, and Jeremy DeWitt. That's that anchor that we were talking about, Ethan. That's going to be incredibly important for the rest of this game.
Bimberg catches that one and holds it. 6:48 to go.
So the Icepack is 0 for 3 on the power play tonight, but they have done an incredible job of showing that they're trying to get shots off. The opportunities are there. Now it comes to a matter of can they capitalize. But so far they are 1 for 1 on the penalty kill, technically. So this is a very good sign so far, penalty killing wise.
State's 0 for 3 on the power play. Like I mentioned, the first one doesn't really count. It was only 20 seconds after a 4-on-4. That's how it'll go on the stat sheet, though, unfortunately. Hard work behind the net there from the Pack. Delaware struggling to get it out of the zone. That was Hayden Dewey down low. 2-on-2 the other way. 3-on-2 now. Joey Hall makes an easy glove save. Koeklenberg gets in an extra shove at the end. Then he loses his glove. A little physical play. To my recollection, I shouldn't say that. That's a big word. The last 3 years that I've been covering the team, I don't remember State ever playing Delaware, but it's a good team. They're good every year. They challenge themselves with their schedule. They played Penn State, who I believe is the first or second ranked team in the Southeast, or in the ACHA, I guess, excuse me. Penn State's not really in the Southeast, not even a little bit, honestly. There's Costigan working down low. Delaware tries to get it out. State's been the better team here the last 5 minutes or so. Haven't been able to get anything going. Costigan couldn't get much on that shot, so Bimberg had the easy save.
This is State's 4th line right now. They're playing a lot like at least like a second line right now. There's a very good job. And it looks like there's a penalty.
Takes a penalty, yep. That's going to be the second penalty of the day for the Pack. 5th penalty of the game total.
And that'll be an interference call on O'Rourke, like we were just talking about. Discipline so far, this is not terrible for NC State. About 5 minutes left in this first period here, and it's just only the second penalty. That's a good thing. Very good thing. If NC State can try to box out Delaware and try to keep that puck away from Joey Hall as much as possible, we could go for a perfect night tonight on the penalty kill.
Delaware wins the face-off. Shot went wide. Delaware keeps it in, though. Tell you what, that was a pretty easy penalty, though, as Joey Hall makes another save. I mean, that looked like a prototypical holding penalty that you would see in football, with the offensive tackle holding the defensive end as they try to get around. Saw that plenty of times this year at NC State games. It was never called a penalty, in case you were wondering. Delaware wins the face-off. These refs got it right, though. State gets it down the ice. Ian O'Rourke sitting, 1.5 to go. Delaware looking to set it up. And I don't know a whole lot about Delaware, but I can pretty much guarantee you that they've got a dynamite power play with the scoring they've got on their roster. Here's Bryson right in front of us. He'll whip it down. 42 points on the season in 23 games. So he's averaging almost 2 points a game. Delaware looking to gain control. Nice action there. They lost the puck. NC State can't get it out. 1 minute to go on the power play. Pass out in front. Intercepted. Great play there. Delaware gains control again. That was Hayden Dewey with the interception. Joey Hall deflects it all the way out to the blue line. State can't get it out. 45 seconds to go. Another good play there from the Pack, and Joey Hall's going to cover that up.
A little bit of fisticuffs right there from Davis Hudson after the play stop right there, but you have to admit NC State has done a great job in the penalty kill so far. They got 35 seconds left. They're winning the corner battles. They're preventing high-profile shots from getting to Joey Hall. They've been easy saves for him so far. This has been a very good penalty kill and has been very promising, trying to go 2 for 2, I believe, on the night.
This would be the second kill. Another save from Hall there. He was ready for that one. Almost caught him by surprise. Caught me by surprise. Thankfully, didn't catch him by surprise. Good passing across from Delaware. Joey Hall knocks it down and gets back in the crease. 20 seconds to go. State still can't get it out. Pass deflected there. Back out to the blue line. Pass out in front. Empty net, and they score. Delaware takes a 1-0 lead. Just the puck got deflected, went right to the Delaware player. We'll try to get a number.
Looks to be Laspina, number 10 for the Delaware Blue Hens right there. And in all honesty, that's a heartbreaker for NC State because that kill was essentially perfect. But everybody got out of position towards the end. Joey Hall went too far out of his crease to his left, and the puck just went over, and he couldn't make it back in time. It is now 1-0 in favor of Delaware. But still, that tip out in front by Chris Wayne to get that puck closer to the blue line right there, that was the best defensive play on the penalty kill that we've seen tonight, but it is now 1-0.
RJ Laspina, 5th goal of the season, 13th point. It was just kind of an unlucky bounce if you're NC State. They sent the puck on net. It went right to Laspina. He had an empty net after Joey Hall made the original save. Delaware now 1 for 2 on the power play. You're kind of holding your breath, honestly.
And that is an offside right there.
You're holding your breath waiting for them to score there. And you're right, State was doing well. They just couldn't get the puck out of the zone. Delaware just had too much time and too many passes for somebody to not get open. 3:40 to go. 1-0 Delaware.
I think State's penalty kill was doing a great job towards the end, and they were doing a perfect job of setting up, and that's one thing that I saw that was lacking in several games, like the UVA game when the team was on the road, and this is just one area where they improved over the December break, and they were off. They had some unofficial practices, but they really gathered themselves well, and they focused on that a lot, and we hear that a lot from Coach Gazzillo and Sam Benishevitz, and mainly a lot of the guys that talk to us. Special teams is one of the things they do not forget in the locker room, so this is very promising.
Well, it's the old saying, your best. Here's Rushford making a move, pass across, looking for Banishevitz, and it was tipped. Another good opportunity there for the Pack. It really applies to anything, as that one's out in front of the net again. Joey Hall gets back up quickly. NC State will send it out.
Yeah, as you saw in that play right there, that puck is probably going to, that's no icing right there, but you saw Sam Benishevitz. Delaware was expecting it. They know that Sam Benishevitz is as lethal as they get, and Ellis Rushford is one of the best passers on this team. That was a good defensive play.
Delaware loses the puck. State gets it out again. 2:30 to go in the period. 1-0 Delaware. RJ Laspina put them up, and we've got another icing.
I think it's interesting how Coach Gazzillo is placing Tyler Alfonsetti as the main checking forward going into the Delaware end instead of the towering center in Will Bieberdorf, who has a larger frame. Tyler Alfonsetti is a good player, of course, but I thought I would see him at least at a more lethal position to try to get the puck and going for a sneaky pass, not the big-bodied player down the middle right there, but nonetheless, NC State's forecheck tonight has done a great job.
Kokenberg tries to keep it in. He cannot. Mazikowski's back to get it. That's a big combination there for the Pack on the blue line. Delaware working into the zone. Back behind. There's Kokenberg. Centering pass out in front. Nobody home. Delaware keeps it in. Shot wide. Delaware's been the better team here the last 5 minutes. Another open net. Joey Hall makes the save again. And I thought I heard a whistle. No whistle. State gets it out. Great save from Joey Hall. I didn't think Delaware got much on it, but he made this. It was an incredible save nonetheless. Alfonsetti now behind the net as State heads the other way. Kokenberg was down. He lost his stick.
What happened was Joey Hall broke his stick down there, and that beautiful save right there. They tried to do a wraparound. Joey Hall's now holding one of the player sticks, waiting for a fresh stick from the bench. Probably won't get it until the next break. That was just a wonderful sequence of events right there for Joey Hall.
It was another empty net, but there's an icing. It was an empty net, but Delaware couldn't get much on the shot, and Joey made the save. Great save from Hall to keep the Pack within one.
They had a defensive lapse, and this is not something you want to see from NC State. On that play just before the beautiful save from Joey Hall, there was a huge gap in the slot. All the players from NC State were caught either on one of the sideboards, and there was no one down the middle. Luckily, the shot went wide for Joey Hall, but nonetheless, the defense needs to step it up for the Icepack, or else we're going to be in for a long night here, Ethan.
1:15 to go. Face off to the left of Joey Hall. State's got Banashevitz long, unable to get it there. Merchant collects it, gets it back to Banashevitz. Pass across, deflected up into the net.
Trevor Merchant has been one of my players to watch for a very long time, and I actually was going to class one morning and I saw him biking. I was biking to my class and I saw him on the sidewalk, and he was very enthusiastic about tonight. He's that kind of guy that's going to give it his all every single night, and he's a very lethal two-way forward. They have him on the wing right now, but he could easily play center. He's a very good player, and the Icepack really need to appreciate his achievements and everything he's done, because he can do a lot.
Centering pass out in front from Kinney. Nobody there. Now down in the corner. The battle along the boards. 45 seconds to go. State played well. I mean, you got to be thrilled with this period. Not thrilled, but State played pretty well in the first period. Unlucky to be going down 1-0. State dumps it in. Linsmeyer chases after it. Delaware trying to get it out of the zone and get one more push. They've got a 1-on-3 here. 20 seconds to go. Working out wide. There's Bryson, centering pass, couldn't get it. Bryson again working. Holding, 9 seconds to go. Pass out in front. Linsmeyer, that's Johnson, 3 seconds to go. Opportunity for Hudson. He fires wide at the end of the period.
That was some beautiful positioning right there by Matt Costigan coming up to try to get that puck away and create a more of an offensive rush going back into the zone right there. Nonetheless, that led to the Davis-Hudson rush. No goal there, but still a great defensive job.
Not sure if that goal would have counted anyway. I think the clock went off. Shot went wide anyway. RJ Laspina has the lone goal. Delaware leads NC State 1-0 here on PackTV. RJ Laspina gave Delaware a 1-0 lead here. First period intermission. Zach, your thoughts on the first period from an NC State perspective?
I think NC State had the advantage, Ethan, and the more you look at it, the more you think about it, you just realize how good NC State was in that period with their defensive setups, their rush game, their ability to set up on the rush and on the power play. All in all, NC State is winning the game, but they're not winning on the scoreboard, which is sadly is what matters.
Well, I think State played pretty well the first 10, 15 minutes of the game. First 5 minutes, the teams were really feeling each other out. Last 5 minutes, you could really tell Delaware started to play better, I guess. Maybe they were a little sleepy getting off the bus. They did take 3 penalties. One of them wiped out one of their own power plays. We saw their power play for 2 minutes, and they scored a goal towards the end of it. What did you see from their power play and their firepower that you think will cause NC State issues the rest of the game?
I think it's their ability to get to the front of the net and get the shots. As you saw right there, that first goal was the ability to take the puck away from NC State and quickly just get a quick shot. There was no way for NC State to defend what was going on right there, and all in all, Delaware has been taking advantage of NC State's defensive lapses, and that's what they're going to try to take advantage of. As you saw multiple times, there was multiple passes to Sam Benishevitz. The puck flew back into the NC State end for opportunities from Delaware, and that's just something that can't happen. So NC State really needs to tighten up, and Delaware is going to take advantage of whatever NC State gives up.
What do you think is NC State's biggest advantage here for the rest of the game?
I think their penalty kill has been looking spectacular. Yes, they gave up that one goal, but so far their discipline has been very good. You saw Luis Jimenez in that one sequence of events pulling away, Eric Todd to try to get away from any unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Good discipline from the team, good penalty kill. All in all, their discipline and their special teams is at an advantage for tonight.
First period intermission, Delaware leads NC State 1-0. We'll be back momentarily to talk adjustments for the second period here on PackTV. Welcome back to the Iceplex here, Raleigh, North Carolina. The Delaware Blue Hens lead the NC State Wolfpack 1-0. I wanted to mention Joey Hall. Played pretty well in the first period in my book. Didn't make any spectacular saves. He did give up the one that really wasn't his fault. What did you see from him here in the first 20 minutes?
He made the saves that really needed to be made, but one thing that I noticed, and I hate to say anything bad about Joey tonight because he's been doing spectacular, he's been way too far out of his crease, and for a goaltender, that's never good. The one goal that was scored on Joey Hall was because he got caught out of position. Obviously, goaltenders have to get across the ice very quickly, and it's very difficult, but all in all, Joey Hall has done outstanding, but he needs to stay in his crease and not get out of position too much.
One thing I'll add, Joey's always going to play like that. That's just his style, and it works really well for him. I didn't think he was that bad here in this first period, but it's always something that you keep an eye on, and it sometimes gives the other team opportunities. Second period adjustments for the Pack, what are they?
Honestly, they just got to keep doing what they're doing. Like you said, Ethan, towards the end, they got a little bit tired, and the energy, they need to get the jump. They need to get going what they need to do to make sure they have the energy. But all in all, they've been playing spectacular. They had a little defensive lapse. That's what led to the goal. But all in all, they've been setting up well. They've been defending well. Their rush game has been spectacular tonight. One of the best I've seen since the 7-1 dominant win over Virginia Tech way back in October, whenever it was. But still, it was a very, very good first period for NC State, and all they need to do is have a little bit more energy.
NC State had more really good opportunities than Delaware did, They've just got to capitalize on them. Second period coming up next here momentarily on PackTV. Getting ready for the start of the second period, here at the Iceplex in Raleigh. Delaware leading NC State 1-0. RJ Laspina, his 5th goal of the year, gave Delaware the lead. And that's where we stand right now. Like we mentioned during the intermission, State can't really complain about how they played in the first period, but with a team as good as Delaware, sometimes you've got to, sometimes your good isn't good enough. You've really got to play great. And like we mentioned, Delaware's the best team State will see all year. Out in front here for Delaware. Opportunity the other way. Luis Jimenez and Banishevitz 2-on-1. Jimenez fires and he scores. Gets knocked down after the play. 30 seconds into the period. Luis Jimenez ties this one up.
Little bit of a tumble right there. That play right there was caused by very slippery ice. As you saw, the puck went away from Eric Todd down in the corner, came back to the point. Jimenez found it, and that was a beautiful, beautiful goal right there. That's his 2nd goal in 2 games. He's on a multi-game goal streak now. This is very promising for NC State. And like we were talking about, Ethan, in that pregame intermission, in the intermission report, it's important that NC State got off to the energy jump. So that was a very good thing that we saw there.
Huge goal, especially after the first period. Feels like NC State outplayed Delaware, but State went in and trailing. State will take that right away. Great play from Luis on the defensive end. Turns it into offense. He had Banishevitz on his other side. Delaware surely knows about him. That shot goes wide. And Jimenez didn't pass it. Usually we see him setting up Banishevitz as he does there. Delaware covers up. Had the shot and took it and he scored. Bemberg gives up first goal of the game for Delaware.
I think ice is especially important in hockey. Well, of course, you needed to play hockey. But as you saw right there, fresh ice, it's very slippery compared to what hockey players call dirty ice, which is ice that is not as clean from the Zamboni. And that play right there was completely caused by a wonderful job of the puck just moving up to Jimenez's stick right there. So it was a great goal, great opportunity there for State.
State tries to keep it in the zone, unable to do so. Delaware headed the other way. There's Bryson. Talked about him plenty in the first period. Opportunity there. Joey Hall knocks it down with his chest. Shot back out. Caught by Joey Hall. Great sequence there for the goalie. Couple of shots there for Ryan Morse, second leading scorer for Delaware.
Yeah, Joey Hall right there. Beautiful positioning to make those two very big stops. As you saw right there, Morse was up in the high slot. That's a very dangerous area, and a lot of statistician reports that you would see in professional hockey. That would what we call a high-scoring opportunity, and right there, Joey Hall made an incredible save and had incredible positioning.
Morse is the second leading scorer, as I mentioned, 16 goals, 20 assists. He plays with Bryson. Alec Rankin and R.J. Laspina play together on the second line. Opportunity there again. Hall scoops that one up, Joey Hall's been on point so far tonight. Talked about him during the intermission. Played really well in the first period and is off to a fast start in the second. Deflected out in front. State gets it out of the zone. Delaware will look to set it up. They fire it in. They're going to try to dump and chase Ellis Rushford there. He'll look to get it out. He can't. Delaware takes it away. There's Trevor Merchant working hard. Man gets knocked down, and they're going to call third penalty of the game on State and a little extracurricular activities there.
Ellis Rushford, another bad discipline move right there. As you saw right there, into the corner, Ellis Rushford did have a cross-check right there. Will be going to the box. Not sure for how long. That could easily be a double minor because the Delaware player's back was turned towards the board, so they could call that a boarding, and that could be a double minor. So we will see what they put on the board, but nonetheless, discipline needs to be an important factor, and that was a bad penalty taken by Ellis Rushford after a beautiful, beautiful momentum surge by NC State.
Well, Sean Camise is taking a seat for Delaware as well. So this is going to be a 4-on-4. I think that might have been for retaliation after the play, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what the refs sort out here. To me, it looked like they didn't call the penalty until the Delaware bench was upset about it, on Rushford, that is.
I think what happened towards the end there was when Rushford checked the guy down, Camise got back up and had a little bit extra of a little fist fight going on there with Rushford, and he tried to back away to try not to get any more penalties, but I think that was the sequence of events that we were talking about. So
we'll see what comes out of this. Haven't put the penalties up on the board yet. 17:52 to go in the second. 1-1 Delaware and the Wolfpack. I talked about the Blue Hens. I'm a fan of the original names. I don't like the Wildcats, the Tigers. Like those are just too basic. Every school has them. So Rushford has 2 minutes up, and Delaware doesn't have anything up. So I'm guessing that maybe it's a 5 or a 10 minute, potentially. Well, NC State's on the penalty kill though. Linsmeyer takes it away off the clear. His shot either got knocked down or went off the post. Delaware will head the other way. I'm really confused right now, honestly. Delaware has a 5-on-4 for 2 minutes. They'll circle up, pass out in front, gets all the way across. There's Morse again. His shot deflected just over the net. Not sure who got a stick on that one, but Joey Hall didn't see it, and it went high. Delaware setting it up behind the net. 1:20 to go in the power play. There's Rankin working in the corner. He's got Morse up top. Those two play well together. Joey Hall looks to get back to the crease. Delaware didn't shoot. Here's an opportunity for Rankin. He'll fire, deflected up and onto the net. Exactly a minute left on the power.
That puck almost hit somebody down by the corner right there. That was pretty scary, Ethan. But one thing I'm liking about NC State's penalty kills so far is their ability to move their bodies around to effectively block any sort of chance right there. As you saw, a couple passes went through some traffic, got towards some open corners. Joey Hall made the saves he needed to make, but all in all, the penalty kill's looking great. NC State could go 3 for 4 after this penalty kill.
State's actually 1 for 2, I think, if I'm not mistaken. State's 1 for 2 on the penalty kill and 0 for 3 on the power play.
I was thinking power play. My apologies.
Yeah. State wins that one. Kochlenberg sends it all the way down the ice. Great play there from Johnny Kochlenberg. Delaware looked to set it up. 50 seconds to go. Here's Bryson working in. He likes to go to that backhand and look for the centering pass. Doesn't get to it that time. Delaware still sets it up. They'll fire across. There's Bryson. He fires. The shot gets knocked down. Hayden Dewey fires it all the way down the ice. 30 seconds to go. More good penalty kill from the Pack.
Yeah, 2 guys I've been liking so far has been Hayden Dewey and Ryan Lensmeyer. Earlier on, you saw that beautiful takeaway by Lensmeyer to get the shot off on Bernberg, and Dewey's just been an incredible defensive presence down in the Icepack end. So props to both of them.
Big hit there on the center of the ice. State headed the other way, short-handed with 9 seconds to go. Puck out in front, and Bernberg is going to cover up. 5 seconds to go. Little scramble there. State couldn't get to it.
Cam Mazikowski, of course, is a beautiful offensive punch, but as you saw right there, he can lay the body as well. And that's one thing you don't want. It's hard enough to have a 6'4 defenseman that can score, but a 6'4 defenseman that can check you, you're in trouble.
I'll tell you what, the 3 years I've been here, State hasn't had 2 defensemen as big as Kochlenberg and Mazikowski. Delaware power play is over. Luis Jimenez was serving it. He's back out. I honestly have no idea what was happening. So Ellis Rushford and I believe Camisa are still sitting for Delaware. Bimberg knocks that one behind the net. So we're back to 5-on-5 play. Jimenez looks to get it to Todd. He does. Pass out or shot out in front. Hit Banashevitz, I believe. Mazikowski finds Banashevitz. Banashevitz tips it ahead. Jimenez looks to get there. State can't keep it in. It's all the way back down. There's Mazikowski. Nice move around a defender. Excellent individual play there from Cam. He finds Eric Todd working. His backhand goes wide. Banashevitz gets there first. Wing shoots it. Deflected wide, excuse me. Banashevitz finds Todd. Centering pass. Jimenez, backhand knocked down. Todd gets it. He scores! Eric Todd collected the loose puck. Got it around Bimberg, and NC State takes a 2-1 lead.
What a pass I think was from Jimenez, but that all started with the beautiful joystick edge work from Cam Mazikowski up at the blue line. Got the puck in, kept it in the zone, and then there was just a bunch of scuffle out in front of the NC State zone. They found the puck mid-slot, and they just hit the rebounds. And that's the only way you're going to score on Bimberg tonight is to get those rebounds. It is now 2-1 NC State. What a play.
Just a scramble out in front of the net. Todd got to the loose puck. I'm not sure if it was a pass or if it was just a puck out in front of the net from Jimenez. Jimenez would definitely get an assist on that one, though. Stayed up 2-1. Delaware once again on the first of their 3-game road trip down here in North Carolina. They'll play Charlotte tomorrow and UNC Chapel Hill on Sunday. State forces Delaware turnover, can't keep it in the zone. Delaware back in the zone. 14-19 to go. Chris Wing collects it. Alfonsetti works. He was offsides.
As we heard from the wonderful PA announcer we have here at the Raleigh Iceplex, they gave the assist on the Todd goal to Banashevitz and Luis Jimenez on that play, the dominant duo, as we have seen a lot here in the NC State Icepack season. This is Sam Banishevitz's second point in 2 games. He's been riding a point streak pretty much the entire season. Luis Jimenez now has a goal and an assist identical to what he had in the UNC Chapel Hill game as well. So it's been a very good night point-wise for the dominant line.
Shot kicked aside from Joey Hall. Delaware looks to set it up and tie this one up. This has been a great game from NC State as Hall covers that one near the post.
I talked to a lot of fans before tonight, and one thing they were talking about is how they were afraid NC State was going to be a bit unfavored tonight against the Delaware Blue Hens, but the Icepack has put on an exceptional fight so far.
26 minutes into the game, and NC State's played about as well as you can ask against a team of this caliber. The ref takes a spill. State can't get it out of the zone. Talking about Sam Banashevitz and his point streaks, the last game of the semester at PNC Arena, we said he was at 99 career goals. Or he says he was at 99. We said he was at 97. Well, he added it up and says he was at 107 in his career as Joey Hall covers up the loose puck. So I think he'd be disappointed for us telling you that, because I think he wanted to celebrate tonight like it was his 100th goal if he scored one. But it was excellent research from you. Obviously, we've mentioned the website isn't always up to date, so he didn't know exactly how many, but he said he went back and looked, and he has 107. So
I think for Sam Banashevitz, whether it's goal number 100 or goal number 108, a goal is a goal, and it's vital to any hockey game. So whatever goal he gets, he's going to celebrate it like it's goal number 100, because it's an important step towards any winning game.
Perry knocked down Linsmeyer. Big hit there on the defensive end as NC State was headed the other way. Ian O'Rourke tries to keep it in the zone. He can't. 2-on-1 here. Linsmeyer in pursuit, and a big hit from Rushford. Took the Delaware player out from his feet. This game's been really physical for these two teams that haven't seen each other very often, or if ever, honestly. I have no idea.
Yeah, Rushford is a bit edgy tonight. He's taken a couple bad discipline penalties all in all, but that was a beautiful hit right there by Ellis Rushford, so big props to him. And it's a delayed call.
Another big hit. Linsmeyer gets knocked down. State's going to be on the power play, as soon as Delaware touches the puck. And they do there.
Looks like it'll be a slashing call right there. It's called by the ref right there. Joey Hall skates back to the net. That was a interesting sequence of events. The puck went in. Binberg made the save. Overall, just a wonderful job by both teams. It looks like Perry will be taking a seat for the Delaware Blue Hens, but if NC State tonight can go 1 for 3 on the power play after this one, it'll be an achievement for State. Just try to get those special teams back in order.
I'm not exactly sure where that penalty happened during that stretch there, because State was on the delayed penalty for a while. Joey Hall got all the way to the bench, which doesn't usually happen. Here's Mazikowski just high, and it goes out of play. So I'm not exactly sure what it was, but State was on the delayed penalty for a while. If you don't know, the delayed penalty is the ref holds up his hand as he's ready to call the power play, and they don't stop play until the team that the penalty is being called on touches the puck, or gains control of the puck, a deflection doesn't count. So Delaware was called for a penalty, so they needed to touch the puck to get a stoppage. So basically, you can't score if you don't touch the puck, which we'd talk about that for a while, actually, because I've seen a team score without touching the puck. Pass out in front there, goes wide to Jimenez. So that's why the goalie goes to the bench during a delayed penalty. And then once the other team touches it, they'll go back once the faceoff starts and the man advantage starts. Scrum out in front of the net. Banashevitz gets knocked down. Eric Todd comes to his defense. He takes the man down. Tell you what, there's been a lot of extracurricular activities here tonight.
The fans are very happy, and most certainly of that, but while we're waiting to see who gets up from this scuffle right here, I do want to talk about the NC State power play. As you saw right there in the beginning, they tried to have 2 men towards the slot. Looks like Sam Banashevitz is going off for a penalty.
I think he's just talking to the ref. As I was talking about the delayed penalty, I actually saw the team who the penalty was against score. You probably remember this too as a Hurricanes fan. I can't remember what year it was, but the Canes were on a delayed penalty. Eric Todd's taking a seat. I want to say for the hit, Banashevitz got taken down, and then Eric Todd knocked over somebody else to defend Banashevitz. So Todd's going to take the seat. That kills the rest of the State's power play.
But I do want to go back to what I was saying about the NC State power play. It actually turns out they still have 5 men on the ice because the minors offset each other. So it's still going to be a 5-on-4 in favor of NC State. But the power play, they used to have 2 men
in the slot trying to deflect a puck, but they had two guys towards the low corners against Bernberg to try to make sure they get the deflection from one of those two guys down low. Interesting to see how they've been working that power play so far. Either way, it works because they've been getting opportunities left and right.
So Eric Todd and somebody from Delaware wasn't able to catch who it is. Take a seat. NC State still on the power play, as you mentioned, 50 seconds to go. I want to finish up the delayed penalty story real quick. I didn't watch many Canes games when I was younger, but one time I was watching a game, and the Canes were on a delayed penalty, meaning I want to say it was Cam Ward had gone to the bench, and they tried to set it up, and the pass went wide, looking for somebody in the slot, deflected off the boards, and bounced all the way into the net. So that was the one time I've seen the other team score on a delayed penalty, and the other team never touched the puck. Pass out in front there from Banishevitz. Shot, and they scored! Mazikowski scores, and now we've got a fight, I guess, a brawl. Not really a brawl, but State scores a power play goal, and Mazikowski got hit right after it, and he went after the guy. So give Cam Mazikowski the goal. Banishevitz will get an assist. NC State's up 3-1 against Delaware.
On the power play as well, Mazikowski just found that puck and took a clap bomb. Unbelievable shot there by Cam Mazikowski against Benberg on the glove side. Just unbelievable job so far.
Crowd's excited, the loudest they've been all night. The refs are getting together to discuss. To me, it kind of looked like incidental contact. But who really knows the way this game has gone? It may not have been incidental contact. I'm sure NC State doesn't think it was incidental contact.
But towards the end of that play as well, I did see an interaction between Mazikowski and one of the players from Delaware. What happened was they ran into each other, and I think what the ref saw was it did look like from up here at least that Mazikowski went for a punch against that player, but then the Delaware player came back and retaliated as well. So that's probably what the refs are talking about right now to try to see if there's any penalties from that. But as we were talking about, NC State's now 1 for 3 on the power play.
There you go. That was a big key. I want to say State's actually, I think I have my power plays backwards. I think State is 1 for 6, and Delaware's 1 for 4. But those are just the penalties I've written down, so some of those may have been the 5 minutes that weren't an advantage. Joey Hall and Bimberg are playing catch with the puck right now. While we wait for this, just thought you'd be interested to know that. Refs get together to discuss what happened after the goal. What happened was Banishevitz had a centering pass from behind the net. Nobody was there. It went out to Mazikowski. Mazikowski gathered it and fired it and scored.
So, nonetheless, Sam Banishevitz, as good of a scorer he is, he's an amazing passer as well.
Yeah, he is. He's a really well-rounded player. So, Mazikowski scored, and the Delaware player, I mean, not even a second or two after he scored, it looked like I thought he was trying to make a play and hit Mazikowski. But he had scored. I don't know that that player knew that he scored. And so he knocked Mazikowski down. Banishevitz got in there too because he was ready to celebrate a goal.
Now the refs are still talking about this play, but in the meantime, we can talk about the third backyard brawl that is going to happen between NC State and Chapel Hill on January 29th. It is a Monday at 7 p.m. Pretty much the same exact thing, same exact schedule as the last game. On November 20th, it'll be a great time. Make sure to come out. And it's going to be a great night for the family. It's a great night for hockey in North Carolina.
So Banishevitz takes a seat. I wish I could give you an explanation on why he's in the box and nobody from Delaware is. So State leads 3-1. Now Mazikowski goes in there too. Things are still getting sorted out. I have no I could give no rational explanation as to why NC State would have 2 guys go in the box after that, and Delaware wouldn't have any.
They're giving a 5-minute to the player. I think got in the tussle with Mazikowski right there.
Okay. That makes more sense. He just hasn't gone in the box yet. They've put number 21 up there, which would be Michael Hicken for the Blue Hens. So we'll see what happens. They just said the penalties over the PA, but I couldn't hear them. 10:41 to go in the second period. NC State's taken a 3-1 lead after trailing 1-0 at intermission. Mazikowski, Jimenez, and Todd have the goals. NC State's top line has been out there for all 3 goals. Banashevitz has his helmet off and is talking to the official.
This is a very interesting sequence of events right now. The refs are informing Coach Gazzillo of what exactly was going on. They're giving out penalties left and right. It's going to be an interesting final 10 minutes of this second period. We're almost reaching the half mark of the game, though the play is about to begin. But going back to how the teams are playing overall, I would give the overall edge to State, of course, because finally not only are they winning in all the little areas, they're winning on the scoreboard, and that's what matters in the end.
So Delaware players getting sent off. I believe that is Hicken, who I mentioned earlier, getting escorted to the locker room by the crowd. They're singing "Hey, hey, hey, goodbye." One of the great songs, honestly, for crowds to sing either at the end of the game or when a player gets kicked off. Really a great song. So State's got 3 guys in the box. Delaware has 1. Zach, I'm not exactly sure why there's a 5-minute penalty for Hicken up on the board, and he just went to the locker room.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, because as I said down there, there was a punch, and I guess the refs did catch up on that.
So somebody is going to serve the penalty for him, but he's done for the period? Is he done for the game or the period?
I believe it is the full entire game because he got that misconduct. Because that was unsportsmanlike conduct that happened towards it. It was a very confusing situation. I wish I could say more, but my knowledge is limited because our view is a little bit blocked right now, but nonetheless, I did see the punch that happened, and I guess the refs did pick up on that. It looks like it's going to be 3-on-3 for a while.
Well, now another Delaware player comes out, so it's going to be 4-on-3, I think. This is a big moment in the game. State has a lot of momentum, but we've just had this long break. So we'll see if that halts any of State's momentum. Banashevitz and Mazikowski are in the box. 4-on-3. Kristoff, Rushford, and Hudson out there for the Pack. 10:41 to go. Second period, we're finally back underway after the long break. Delaware working up. 4-on-3. Lots of space for Delaware. Here's Perry. Pass in front. Goes in front. And they just kind of put it on net. And Joey Hall froze it against. I thought maybe it went in the net off of Joey Hall. It did not. So we'll have a face-off here.
Yeah, that puck came off the boards, came back to Joey Hall. Joey Hall had to pretty much hug the post right there with his legs. The puck stayed out, so that's the most promising thing.
Delaware sets it up. Again, you don't want a team as good as Delaware having this much space on the ice. State does clear it down, though.
It'll be a 4-on-3 for the next minute and 27 seconds, but after that, NC State has almost 3 minutes of power play time. So this next several minutes is going to be critical to the outcome of this game.
Here's Boylan for Delaware. Like I said, a team as skilled as Delaware having this much space on the ice is not a good thing. That shot goes way high from Bryson out of play. Minute 10 to go. State just kind of holding their breath here. They would love to survive this next minute and 10 seconds without giving up a goal. And then you reward yourself, as you said, with some power play time. Delaware wins the face-off again. That shot goes high. Rushford was down there. Perry gets to it first, keeps it in the zone. Delaware has it back to Perry. He fakes a shot. Delaware moving closer. Bryson setting up in front of the net. Joey Hall makes the save. Bryson took an extra shove at Joey Hall, and Rushford went after him, rightfully so.
Oh, they're attacking Rushford down there, down low. That was, I can't tell you what happened right there, but what happened was Rushford got checked, and it looks like 3 players just jumped on him. That's not right.
Well, Bryson, I think it was only 2 players. Bryson took an extra shove at Joey Hall, so that's why Rushford is upset. So we'll see if there's any more penalties out of this. I can tell you why. I know exactly why Rushford is upset. That's exactly what it was. As Linsmeyer tries to pump up the crowd. This game's gotten really physical. Never seen Delaware play before, so I don't know if their games are usually like this.
Coach Gazzillo told me it over the boards back in November that this is a team that they very rarely see, so physicality is important.
Another Delaware player getting escorted off. I couldn't tell what number that was, so won't be able to tell you that one. Fans getting their vocal work in here tonight.
I think Coach Gazzillo is using his timeout right now.
I think they're sorting things out again.
Well, still.
They didn't. There wasn't much discussion there. They sent him right off. Like I said, I wasn't able to catch his number while he was walking through the crowd. I'll tell you what, this game has escalated quickly. It's like that GIF, I think, of Will Ferrell, where it's like, that escalated quickly or something like that. It's pretty funny. I would recommend using it. This would be a good situation to use that GIF. That's pretty much me right now.
Yeah, all in all, this has been a very interesting sequence of events right now, and the undisciplinedness is actually coming from Delaware, and Ellis Rushford has been in the middle of it all, and he's been an instigating factor in a lot of things, both good and bad. He's been staying disciplined, but he's been doing a great job defensively tonight as well. And they're still trying to figure things out right now, as you see Morse and Jimenez right now are talking with the refs. There's really no clarity of what's going on until we talk to Coach Wing in the second period intermission report here. I think we won't know until then what's going on here. So we'll be sure to find that out for you right here on PackTV.
Well, I told you why Rushford was upset. Rushford did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Right.
When an offensive player shoves the goalie after the play, that's what your defensemen do. That's just how it is. So that's what Rushford was doing. Things continuing to get sorted out. I find it interesting that Luis Jimenez is the one talking to the officials right now because Banashevitz is in the box. State currently has 4 guys in the box. I've honestly lost track of who the first one in the box was. Banashevitz and Mazakowski are in there, as is Hudson. I can see him.
It was Eric Todd.
Oh, Eric Todd. I forgot who the first player was. He's been in there for so long.
It might have been Mazakowski. I'm not entirely sure. They have 18 up on
No, Mazakowski's definitely in the box. I'm not sure who the 4th player is that's in the box right now.
I do remember Eric Todd taking a penalty, but I'm pretty sure.
Todd's right there on the bench, so
Yeah.
it's not him.
Yeah.
But we'll look to sort things out. I remember a couple years ago, a lot of games would take this long. This would happen in every game. And thankfully it got cleaned up the last year. Last year and now this year. We haven't had these long delays, but I used to feel like every single game there was a long delay like this. This is really the first one this year that's had lots of delays. We mentioned Delaware. Best team state plays all year. Not even sure there's much of a doubt there. Virginia's obviously very good, but I think Delaware's a different animal.
And I think you've seen tonight as well, Ethan, their speed is also what defines them as one of the better teams the state has played. Delaware is very speedy, and especially led by Bryson and Morse. It's just unmatched speed competition coming from Delaware.
Yeah, they're number 7 in the ACHA rankings. And 14-9 overall. But like we said, they've played some really good teams. And their record's not really indicative of how good they are. So we've got another 5 minutes up on the scoreboard for Delaware. Brian Boylan is number 3. He's up on the board. Now we've got somebody coming onto the ice. Not really sure why.
Some of the plexiglass came off. it seems.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, they're working on the boards. Joey Hall doing a little yoga. Looks like. Admirable. Tell you what, Delaware, both teams are kind of running out of players at this point. State's got 4 in the box. Delaware has 2, and then 2 more in the locker room. So we'll see what happens. I don't understand why it takes so long to sort this out. I feel like this is an instant replay kind of thing in the pro sports. Delaware having a little team get together. Maybe a come to Jesus meeting or something.
If I was Delaware right now, I'd be telling their guys to at least stay disciplined. This has been a physical game, and tempers have been flying, and right now the most important thing that they can do is not take any more unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
I would just love to know what are they talking about that takes so long is my question.
I think this happened a
Looks
while.
like we're ready to go now.
This happened a while back in one of the games as well. Not only do they need to get the penalties situated, but a while back the scoreboard wasn't updating as well because they don't have professional people running the scoreboard down there. So they need to let the people know what exactly is going on the scoreboard and what isn't down there, so it can just be all communication factors as well between the teams and the refs and, of course, the people that are managing the scoreboards and the stat sheets.
So Delaware was on a 4-on-3 when this whole kerfuffle started. It looks like the 4-on-3 is now over, so we're going to be playing 3-on-3.
I'm learning more vocabulary from you every day, Ethan.
What can I say? Wing, Jimenez, and O'Rourke out there. State's got 40 seconds left for Mazikowski and Banashevitz in the box. Here comes Jimenez, 1-on-2. He's got O'Rourke. Jimenez working, knocked down in front. Bimbar. Delaware's going to have a 2-on-1 the other way. They got plenty of time. Chris Wing back with Joey Hall, and Hall makes the save. It deflects out of play.
That was a great job there by Luis Jimenez coming in on the rush. Obviously coming back, it was a 2-on-1 bad situation. The one thing I didn't like there was Chris Wing was trying to communicate with somebody and shifted too far to his right, and that allowed for a very bad shot opportunity, but Hall made a great save.
Well, I think Wing communicated with Joey Hall that he was leaving the shot up to him, and Wing was going to take away the pass. So he left Joey Hall to make the save. Basically, mano v mano, the shooter and the goalie, and Hall stepped up, was up to the task, I guess is the phrase I'm looking for. 15 seconds left, still 3-on-3. Delaware circling in the corner. 7 seconds to go. State leads 3-1. Wraparound chance. Joey Hall covers up. And the power play is over.
That was a beautiful save there by Hall and Rankin. Just an unbelievable job on the wraparound. Looked like Hall was out of position, but he got over to that post very well, so props to him.
So let's see what we've got now. That empties out the penalty box a little bit. Now they've got some room to breathe in there. So State's going to have a 4-on-3, it looks like. I can't keep track of all these penalties. Now Rushford is up there with a 2-minute penalty. Jimenez takes it away. Here comes State. 3-on-1, long pass Banashevitz. He fires. Kicked aside by Bimbard. Pass kicked out front. Delaware heads the other way. 4-on-3. O'Rourke takes it away. He can't keep it. Delaware gets it into the zone. There's Banashevitz. 8:16 to go in the second period. This has been a long one. Thank you for sticking with us. Here comes Banashevitz again. I could have sworn that hit the post in the back of the net. Apparently it hit the post outside of the net. Here comes Delaware the other way. Joey Hall knocks it aside. Great save there from Joey Hall.
Heartbreaker right there for Banashevitz. That was a sure goal and hit the post, but then it came back. Joey Hall made a beautiful blocker save. Just a great job all around by State.
I might need to get my eyes checked. I could have sworn that puck went in the net. We'll have to ask Coach Wing about it, or maybe Sam after the game. That one really looked like a goal, but Didn't see much of a complaint from Manischewitz. Here comes Delaware off a turnover, and they score. And it gets waved off. The referee waved the goal off. It was just a loose puck, and Joey Hall couldn't control it.
What I saw happen there was Laspina flip the puck, try to get up to Morse for the deflection, but Morse kicked it in with his skate, and there's no kicking allowed with the puck, and that's what caused the puck to go past Joey Hall right there. And sadly, in this league as well, there's no cameras to actually review the play to see what happened, so there's no way of actually checking for sure, but from what we saw up here, I can say with at least 50% certainty that puck was kicked in.
Yeah, it did look like an odd play, so it doesn't surprise me as Mazikowski gets taken down by a sniper there in the middle of the ice. Delaware keeps control. 3-on-4 here for the Blue Hens. State needs to gain control of the puck. 7:11 to go. Here comes State the other way. Alfonsetti can't get the pass, so Laspina will take it away. 20 seconds to go for Rushford. Then State will still have one more guy in the box. Not sure who it is. I forgot. Delaware still has two guys in the box. They've got 1:08 left, and then 2:15 to go on the next one. This is icing. 3 seconds left before Rushford's out of the box. I just can't believe that Banishevich shot didn't go in. I thought it did, but I heard it ring. You know more about hockey than I do. I guess that pole in the back of the net isn't actually a pole, but I could have sworn it went in.
That was a very good shot by Banishevitz. There's no doubting it.
Rushford out of the box. Delaware has control. Bieberdorf takes his place on the ice. 6:30 to go.
I like it. I like Bieberdorf on the ice. The big body on the power play. 5-on-3. This is exactly what State needs. Coach Gazillo is really blending his lines right now. I'm really liking it. And as long as they keep that Will Bieberdorf on the ice to be that towering presence down the middle, this could be a lethal 5-on-3 for State.
48 seconds to go, a 5-on-3. Then State will have 1:11 left. If you're Delaware, you've got to consider yourself lucky if you can get out of this, if you can get away at this point with only being down 3-1, even though they did have that goal that was waved off. Here comes Bieberdorf. He's got a 3-on-2 if he wants it. Working down the middle of the ice, he'll look to set it up. Gives it to Mazikowski, who already has a goal tonight. Back to Bieberdorf. Bieberdorf fires. It's blocked, and on the bounce, Bimbard picks it up. .24 seconds to go on the power play. 6:04 to go, second period. State leads 3-1. This has been, second period's been an eternity. Rushford fires. Bimbard makes the save.
Yeah, Ellis Rushford right there. I've always liked him since the beginning of this season, just in the way that he skates, and that shot right there was absolutely beautiful, the way that he was able to shoot that puck. Sadly, Bernberg made the save right there, but nonetheless, it was just a very good save and a very good shot.
Delaware sends it all the way down. That'll kill the first 5-minute penalty. Here comes O'Rourke headed the other way. He'll work into the zone. Banishevitz there looking for a pass. Oh, they've got another penalty on the board. I had no idea. Todd keeps it. So now we've got 5-on-4 for what I believe is a minute. Delaware only has one player in the box, though. Here's Banishevitz holding. He's looking for Rushford. Can't get it to him for a second. Does later. Rushford has a shot deflected wide. Good chance there for the Pack. Jimenez dances around a defender. Looking for Banishevitz. Can't get it to him. Delaware's got a breakaway off the clear. Here he comes, and he shoots it high. Out of play. That was Ryan Morse, Delaware's second leading scorer, and he just shot it high on an easy opportunity against Joey Hall.
That's one thing that I've talked about a lot, Ethan, is the speed. Morse just flew down the ice, and there's no way that any defenseman could have stopped that. Luckily, the puck went over the net, but that was just incredible speed coming from Delaware.
Delaware was just trying to clear the puck, and I'm not sure if Morse or if the State player knocked it down, excuse me. But Morse got to it first and had an opportunity, and he shot it high. Not sure if Joey deflected it or not. 3-1, 5:03 to go, 34 seconds left for Delaware. A minute and 23 left for Steven Bryson, who's actually not sure if he's, like I said, Delaware's had 2 players go to the locker room here. I'm not sure who the second player was. So we expect that they could be back for the start of the third period. But if Bryson did go to the locker room, that's a huge loss for Delaware.
Absolutely. Of course, the leading scorer for the Delaware Blue Hens. That's never good to lose a player of that caliber, but they got to make do with what they have.
Delaware won the faceoff forward. Bieberdorf gets to it, though. Alfonsetti tries to get it out and can't. Pass across. There's Morse again. Hudson knocks down his shot. Tell you what, Delaware's had plenty of puck time here with a man down. That's actually Bryson in the box right now, so he's going to get out in a minute. And Brian Boylan, I believe, is the other player who most likely went to the locker room, along with Michael Hicken. There's icing, 4:26 to go. Delaware complaining about the clock. Well, now we have another goal up on the board, so I'll tell you what, this has been a lot going on in this game. Between goals waved off, power plays, fights, players being sent to the locker room, now we've got it back to 3-1.
This has been a very intense game, and I'm really liking it so far. I think what they were concerned about right there was they felt as if the penalty had ended. It looks like they're still 5-on-4 right now, but 5-on-5, and that's why they got mad that it was an icing call, because there was still time on the clock for a penalty kill, and when they dumped that puck because they thought they were clearing it, I guess that was the confusion, but they got it all figured out.
They won the argument because the faceoff is out at center ice. But now Bryson's number is still up on the board for 40 seconds of power play time for State, but he's out on the ice. So maybe that's not supposed to be up there anymore. But either way, the penalty box is finally open for what feels like the first time in 17 years. Delaware headed the other way, 3-on-3, dump it in. There's Morse. He can't gain control into the corner. Delaware keeps it. There's Bryson. Got to keep an eye on him if you're State. Centering pass. Joey Hall right there, and he covers up.
Good job there by Joey Hall holding his ground. He's been critical in this game so far. Not been counting shots, but if I could throw out a number, I'd probably say close to 20 saves. And a goaltender who makes 20 saves and only gives up 1 goal, that's just an outstanding effort all in all.
When Joey Hall's at his best, he's probably the best goalie in the ACCHL. And he's been at his best tonight. Battle along the boards. Delaware's got to be happy to be able to put their best players back on the ice here for the first time in a while. State's going to take it away here. Tell you what, the next 3 minutes are huge. State's played really well in this, well, really the first 40 minutes of the game, but ever since there was that huge stoppage, well, 2 big stoppages with about 10 minutes left, State's momentum has really slowed down. State wins the race there to wipe out the icing. So if Delaware can get back in the game with a goal here as that one goes wide, that'd be huge for momentum purposes heading to the third period. There's Kristoff working behind the net into the corner. Delaware gets it. Mazikowski here to collect it for the Pack. State's going to look to make a change. Mazikowski makes a long pass. There's Hayden Dewey, and he'll dump it in.
That was incredible hockey sense earlier by Hayden Dewey to make sure that there was 2 guys going after that one Delaware player who had the puck. So if one player lost the race, the other State player would pick it up. Great job by Hayden Dewey. Almost had a scoring opportunity there, but he just fanned on the shot.
Another opportunity there for State. Shot, rebound Alfonzetti had the shot. State couldn't get to the rebound. There's another shot, goes well high. Deflected out.
Yeah, that shot by Alfonzetti, I'm not sure how the Delaware goaltender saw it right there. That was an incredible shot through traffic, and he made the body save, but nonetheless, he's keeping this game fairly close. And as they say a lot, the worst goal lead to have in hockey is a 2-goal lead. So NC State, hopefully, will hang on.
Like I said, can't ask for State to play much better than they have in the first 38 minutes, and Joey Hall makes another spectacular save. I got distracted there because I was trying to figure out how much time was left. While the Delaware player was streaking down the ice, Joey Hall, another spectacular save. We see a lot of those from him. That was one of his best. Here's Alfonzetti. He fires, and it's knocked down. 1:57 to go.
Alfonzetti had a wide open man right there, and Trevor Merchant, he was ready for that pass. Alfonzetti still had a good shot. Probably saw a corner just over Eric Bernberg's glove side shoulder, but nonetheless, Trevor Merchant was right there. A little bit curious as to why he didn't make that pass, but nonetheless, now they got a face-off in the Delaware end.
State wins the face-off. Bernberg knocks it down. Rebound out in front. I'll tell you what, Bimberg's given up some open rebound opportunities. Delaware takes this one away. 2-on-3. There's Perry, his pass across. Not sure if that was a pass or a shot. Joey Hall catches it either way. Rushford having a nice little chat with the Delaware player, probably telling the Delaware player they wish they had Bojangles up there. Not sure if they have that or not, but... No, Bojangles in Delaware? Oh, gotcha. So not above the Mason-Dixon line is what I'm told. I wouldn't know that. I know they don't have it at North. I just didn't know where they stopped having it.
There's nothing like Bojangles. There's nothing like it.
Would recommend it for the Delaware players while they're here. Puck's in the corner. Rushford with a big hit. I think the Delaware player was going for the hit. He ended up being the one that got knocked down. Puck now behind the net. Joey Hall, I think, lost it there for a second. I certainly did. Here's Banishevitz. He's going to look to hold. He'll find Todd up ahead. He deflects it up. 1:10 to go. Delaware looking for another offensive setup here at the end of the period. There's Banishevitz again. He's going to send it all the way down. That's going to be on goal, so that's not going to be icing. Delaware looking to set things up behind the net. There's Todd. He'll get off the ice. Banishevitz and Jimenez still out there. Here's Chris Wing. Tell you what, I can't remember when Sam's last goal was. I remember he didn't score against UNC at PNC Arena.
He scored in the Wilmington game.
Oh, that's right. He scored at the end of the third period. Another opportunity for Delaware. Jimenez takes it away. There's Banishevitz. Pass too long. Banishevitz is the first one there. No icing. 25 seconds left. Pass out in front and deflected wide. Banishevitz again. He'll find Hudson. His shot goes wide again. Pass now behind the net. 8 seconds to go. Delaware's just going to look to hold on and get to intermission. I'm going to finish what I was saying there. This is the 5th period that Banishevitz hasn't scored in. We remember that huge clutch goal he had at the end of the third period against Wilmington. And it's been 5 periods since he scored. I don't know how many times that's happened, but probably not many. Anyway, end of the second period. NC State gets goals from Luis Jimenez, Eric Todd, Cam Mazikowski. They lead Delaware 3-1. Zach's going to be back in the second intermission with an interview with Coach Jeff Wing here on PackTV.
Welcome back to the Raleigh Iceplex. Here's Zach Selway alongside Coach Jeff Wing. Coach, that was an interesting period, to say the least. What do you think about that period that just happened?
It was one of the interesting ones I've seen. It's very difficult to get in a flow when you go for 3 minutes, then there's shenanigans, you have penalties, wait 5 minutes for them to sort that out, and you go back. So the one thing I did like about our team, though, is with all those penalties, we had to shift who was skating with who, so our lineups changed a lot, and we didn't miss a beat once we were playing. So I was actually happy with that part of it.
That was absolutely, and of course, we weren't sure what was going on with the penalties from up here, and from the looks of it, I don't think you were sure what was going on down there. Do you know anything about what was going on down there?
So like I turned both of their mics. So soundboard completely
say, hey, he came out early. We had some guys that were coincidental penalties. So we got one guy and we should have gotten two. It's just a little difficult. We had to get it sorted out, but we finally figured it out.
Now, we've lost track on certain statistics towards power plays and penalty kills. We'll get that to you after the game, hopefully. But one thing I do want to stress about is your ability to set up. This one thing I've noticed is incredible in tonight's game compared to Chapel Hill and all the games last semester. Your team has done incredible at passing the puck and getting in the right areas. Talk about what was kind of said before the game or in practice to talk about positioning, because it's been beautiful tonight.
Yeah, it's more, you win hockey games in practice, right? So that's really more the thing we talk about in practice. You just tweak little things during a game. So we did work on that. We've only had a few practices this year, but that was something we were focusing on. So another thing we were doing in this game was we were keying on their two best players, 26 and 7. So if you look, they really didn't get a lot of shots. We kept them to the outside. Their 26 got a 5-minute penalty. So we've actually been doing a good job of containing their scores. So that's been a plus as well.
They've been a speedy team, and your defense has been spectacular as well. But one play I want to talk about, of course, is Cam Mazikowski. Beautiful clap bomb from the point. Talk about what you saw from Cam Mazikowski and Sam Benishevitz on that wonderful play.
It was very much a hockey sense, hockey awareness of Sam to get it back to Cam, and just a great shot. I mean, at the end, unfortunately at the end of that we got some more hits and that, but I think Cam just found a very small part to shoot at, and he was able to get it in there, so we're pretty pleased with that.
And finally, of course, Joey Hall. Joey Hall has played absolutely spectacular tonight, Coach. What has been the mood from the players and the coaches and everybody else on the team who's been looking at Joey Hall tonight? What has been sort of the mantra about him tonight?
It's just one of those things that you feel confident. Your game's lifted. He made a few big saves. There was a 2-on-1 where we contained the pass, so Joey just got the shot. So things like that where when your goalie needs to make the save and he makes some spectacular ones, the whole bench just raises. A lot of kudos for him back in the locker room last time. So just to lift everybody up.
Now, lastly, Coach, what's the message to this team in the second period intermission to get ready for this third and final period?
I think what we did a little bit better in the second than the third is watch the front of our net. We got caught a few times behind the goal line in the second period, or in the first period. We cleaned that up in the second, so they weren't getting that many shots. Third period is we got to take the eyes away from the goalie. If you look, he's not only getting the shot, but he's smothering it and getting the rebound. So it's all about take the eyes away from the goalie, get a lot of shots, try to play in their end, and keep doing what we've been doing so far. Everything else.
He is assistant coach Jeff Wing of the NC State Icepack team. For PackTV, I am Zach Soy. We will be back soon with Ethan Berry to talk about second period adjustments and an intermission report right here on PackTV.
Welcome back for the third period here in the Raleigh Iceplex. We have received word that the two Delaware players that got sent off are both done for the day. Michael Hicken and Brian Boyle in number 21 and number 3. They had 5-minute penalties and game misconducts. So Delaware is going to be down 2 players here in the third period as the crowd gets excited. How much of an impact do you think that'll have, Delaware being short a couple players?
It's going to be critical. Delaware is a speedy team, and to lose 2 players that were very critical to this team, it's not a good thing, and Delaware is going to be in trouble if they can't keep up the consistency. But State had a good finish to that second period. They can carry that momentum. Delaware is in trouble.
20 minutes to go. State leads Delaware 3-1. We want to thank you for sticking with us through that second period. Not much for math, but that was a long second period. Delaware behind the net here, early rush. I think we're going to see a really good Delaware team here in the first 5 minutes. State's going to have to survive the beginning of the period. Jimenez gets run into by the official. He's not happy about it, nor should he be. Delaware takes control of the puck. Here they come. 2-on-2 behind the net. Out in front of them, that was Bryson's shot, got knocked down, and we've got another penalty.
Koeklenberg for a cross-check.
Yeah, I think, yep. That's going to be, like I said, I lost track of the penalties. I believe this is going to be the 6th power play of the game for Delaware. They're 1 for 5. State, I want to say State, or Delaware's 1 for 4. State is 1 for 5. I lost track which ones were power plays, which ones weren't. So
that sounds appropriate for this game so far.
I apologize for that. We do know John Koeklenberg's in the box for 2 minutes right now. State's been the more disciplined team today. Here's Bryson for Delaware, looking ahead. Delaware gets set up in the zone. Here's an early power play in the third period for them. Big kill for the Pack. If they can get within one, that'll be huge for the Blue Hens. Joey Hall makes the save. So Delaware's got 11 players on the bench. So they've got 16 players left, plus 2 goalies. We'll see if they kind of run out of energy towards the end.
To be short 2 guys, that's going to have an effect on the energy in the lineup as well.
It'll also have an effect on them tomorrow and Sunday when they face Charlotte tomorrow, UNC Chapel Hill on Sunday. A bigger effect than it will tonight, I would say.
Good job there by Andrew Kristoff to clear that puck, but I like Delaware's setup. They had 3 guys down the middle in the slot, but NC State had good defense, and that led to a beautiful clear by Kristoff.
Here come the Blue Hens. State gets it out again. Nice play there. Ryan Linsmeyer. Delaware looking to set it up. Here's Eric Johnson. He'll get into the zone. Opportunity. He finds Costigan, who has it taken away from him. 4-on-2 here for Delaware. 48 seconds to go in the power play. There's Bryson. Tell you what, State clears that one down. Sam Banashevitz is pretty much always the best player on the ice. And I'm not saying tonight's any different, but Steven Bryson is one of the only players that State plays that will give him a run for his money in that title.
I believe so as well, and one thing you got to really pay attention to as well is Sam Banashevitz has been held out of the goal department, but he's been forced to make his mark in the assist department. He made a beautiful pass. We talked about it with Coach Wing. Beautiful pass to Cam Mazakowski for the clap bomb from the point. All in all, Sam Banashevitz is being a true team guy tonight with his assists.
State had an extra player on the ice down by the net. It was Ian O'Rourke. I'm not sure if he was supposed to be out there or not. He was on the opposite end of where the face-off was, so the refs didn't see it. Pass across gets out. 8 seconds to go on the power play. So State's going to kill this one off. You talk about Sam Banashevitz being held out of the goal department, but State's returned the favor for Steven Bryson. They've held him in check. Opportunity here for Delaware. Backhander gets knocked down. State kicks it out. Up ahead, here's Merchant into the neutral zone. 3-on-4. He'll fire that one. Kicked aside and out of play. 17 minutes to go.
I'm liking Trevor Merchant's ability to skate up and rush up the side of the boards. He's doing an incredible job tonight so far, and I'm really liking it. All in all, tonight has just been very good. And Steven Bryson's game as well has been almost invisible. He's had a lot of good speed, a lot of good looks, but nothing to show in the stat sheet. So NC State's doing a very good job.
Bimbard covers up off the face-off. Delaware's got 3 players with 30 points, one with 40, another with 25. They've held this team to 1 goal, State has, and State's pretty much always been an offensive team, but this is one of the best defensive performances. 17 minutes to go, so we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but through 2 periods, this is one of the best defensive performances that I've seen NC State have.
Bieberdorf made a nice pass off the face-off to Trevor Merchant, who took a shot. It was frozen, but that's there we go.
Alfonsetti knocked off. Nice move there from Delaware. Joey Hall tries to catch it, and he couldn't gather control, so State gets it, forces it into the neutral zone. Here's Merchant up ahead. He's got Bieberdorf with him, but 4 Blue Hen defenders. I like saying Blue Hen. It's kind of weird, but it's original.
What I was trying to say earlier, Ethan, was Will Bieberdorf is an outstanding player.
Yeah.
And off the draw, he made a beautiful pass to Merchant. It's a perfect 1-2 punch between the two. And I think Coach Gazzillo is going to realize it more as the season goes on. That's a very good pairing he has on right there on that second line.
16-18 to go. That was an icing. Talk about Will Bieberdorf, and I've mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. It's great to see him back out on the ice. He's struggled with injuries the last couple of years. And he's a huge boost to the NC State second line. Like I said, he played with Banashevitz and Jimenez before. He's got plenty of experience playing with them. And so to have a guy like of his caliber on the second line is just huge for NC State, especially for him to stay healthy, as he has. 15 minutes to go. Ref is in the way again. Another big hit. And State's going to have a power play after this delayed penalty. Delaware's going to look to touch up. Mazikowski gets on sides. Can't really tell what's happening here. Delaware can't touch it. NC State gains control. There's Banishevitz. He fires high. He's the extra man. Delaware touches up.
Yeah, Mazikowski had a little bit of extra words there for the ref, and I'm not exactly sure what happened because Mazikowski wanted a hook, but he didn't get it. So this will be a penalty. It looks like Giroux, if I'm seeing that name correctly on his jersey. But still, nonetheless, the ref called an interference call, so there must have been something else that we missed up here.
Well, Thomas Audix is the number 9 we have listed. He's played in 8 games so far for Delaware.
And I was really off. I said Giroux.
Well, you had the ending, right? Pass out in front. Goal here would be huge for State on the power play. Delaware gets it out of the zone momentarily. Music is still playing. I don't think that is supposed to be happening.
As the kids say, it is lit. And it stops.
The ref stopped play. I think it was because of the music. Yeah, it was. Unfortunate break for State there. They had control of the puck with 1:41 to go on the penalty.
Yeah, that's a momentum killer for State. But Sam Banishevitz is going back now. He's asking the manager of the scoreboard to add more time back onto the clock.
State wins the faceoff, so they get the puck back. Could have been a really unfortunate turn of events there for State on the power play. Here's Jimenez. He fires off of Bimbard. Mazikowski gets it. There's Banishevitz. He fires. Empty net, and they score on the rebound. Hudson got the rebound off of the Banishevitz shot. NC State leads 4-1 on the power play.
Positioning, positioning, positioning. What a job by NC State to get 3 guys down low, ready to get those rebound opportunities. Davis Hudson right there. What a job getting that rebound opportunity from Banishevitz and Mazikowski. This team is on fire tonight. I can't say enough about how NC State, they're positioning themselves well. The energy is there. They are outplaying Delaware in virtually every single aspect. Just an incredible job by the Icepack.
4-1, under 15 minutes to go. Banishevitz with his 3rd assist, if I'm not mistaken. And great power play goal. Hudson was in the right spot at the right time. And he got the power play. Joey Hall out of the net to play that one. I said if State could survive the first 5 minutes of the 3rd period, they'd be in good shape. Well, not only did they survive, but they added to their lead as we've got another whistle.
That was State's first power play goal of the night, if I'm not mistaken. Second power play goal. Still, nonetheless, they're doing an incredible job in the power play, much better than what they did against UNC Chapel Hill back in November. So this is very promising. Even though we have a State player going up, it looks like to be John Kochlenberg once again. Nonetheless, tonight has been very good for special teams. Not a good night for discipline, but...
Yeah, State's only given up 1 goal. The 1 goal the Delaware scored was on the power play. Another big kill here. 14:28 to go. John Kochlenberg takes the seat, as you mentioned. Rushford backhands it along the boards. Johnson can't get there. Delaware will look to set it up. And it looks like we've got another delayed penalty as the Delaware goalie heads to the bench. So Delaware's got a 6-on-4 right now. State's got to touch up. And Joey Hall makes the save. I didn't see what the penalty was.
I didn't see it either. There was a little bit more scuffling going down in front of the net after the shot as well, so...
It looks like they're pointing at O'Rourke. I didn't see that the ref had his hand up because he was in the blind spot that we've got down in the corner.
They're calling... Yeah, sorry.
I saw the goalie head off. That's how I knew that there was a power play.
They're giving O'Rourke a slash. I'm a little bit surprised. I did not see any broken stick on the ice or really anybody who was hurting, so that's a very interesting call, but nonetheless, 5-on-3. This is a critical...
Yeah, this is huge right here. I gotta say, I didn't see that one. Not saying it wasn't the right call, but I didn't see it. Hudson, Kristoff, and Rushford are the penalty killers for the Pack. Huge moment in the game. Huge glove save from Joey Hall there. Wasn't sure if he had it.
I think it's fruit season because Joey Hall is cherry picking. What a glove save right there. Just picked it out of the air. Just unbelievable job by Joey Hall tonight. I can't say enough about it.
State tries to get it out. They can't. I'll tell you what, you kind of just hold your breath here with Delaware on the power play. Here they are, set up. Loose puck in front of the net. State can't get to it. Hudson gets to it behind the net, excuse me. Shot there, deflected, and up and out of play.
I think State realized Delaware likes to set up their players down the middle in the slot. That's beautiful slot coverage right there. That's making more room for outside shots, not enough for just straight shots through the slot. So great job by this NC State penalty killing team of what looks to be Lensmeyer, Hudson, and looks like to be Rushford. Yeah. I couldn't see very well, but still nonetheless, great job in the penalty kill.
Face-off is outside of the zone. Delaware wins it. Here they come setting it up again. Knocked down, and there's Lensmeyer. He's going to clear it all the way down. That one almost went out of play. That would have been a crucial mistake. NC State kills off some more time. 50 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Delaware setting it up. State didn't make a change. Shot is whiffed on there. Couldn't tell who that was. Actually Bryson. And it gets out of the zone again. State clears it down again.
Good block there by Rusher, trying to get across right there. Very small play, but effective.
State makes a change this time. Delaware with a long pass, and they lose control of the puck. Here's Mazikowski, and he fires it all the way back down into the neutral zone anyway. Delaware's got to set up again. 15 seconds to go, 5-on-3. Delaware looking to set it up. Here's Swift. There's Morse, deflected. Delaware gets to it. Shot, save, Joey Hall.
Coquelenberg comes out of the box, now a 5-on-4. NC State's penalty kill looking very sharp tonight. Coach Gazzillo should be extremely proud of his team.
I'll tell you what, when I looked up after the save, it looked like there was 1 second left on the power play. They let Coquelenberg out of the box, which 1 second may not seem like a big deal, but it takes a couple seconds to get the player into the play. Delaware wins the faceoff, and Joey Hall covers up.
Mazikowski sharing a little bit of extra words. They got to stay disciplined right now. NC State does. 19 seconds left on this penalty kill right now, and NC State's been doing such a good job on the penalty kill. They don't want to have that unit out there the entire game, so staying disciplined needs to be a factor for the final 12 minutes and 23 seconds.
"19 seconds to go, as you mentioned. Delaware wins the faceoff. Behind the net, centering pass. They can't get it, and it's cleared all the way down again.
That was a pretty move. It didn't work, but that was a good move.
4 seconds to go on the power play. Delaware can't get it out of the zone. The power play is over for Delaware. State continues their phenomenal penalty kill, as you've said. 12 minutes to go. State leading 4-1 over the 7th-ranked Delaware Blue Hens. This would be a big win, not a conference win, but if State can beat Delaware, State can beat any team in the ACCHL. I'll tell you that with certainty. Here's Alfonsetti working hard. State in the zone. He finds Bieberdorf. Bieberdorf looking, pass across, gets through to Coquelenberg. His shot deflected high.
Let's talk about this second line right now between Bieberdorf, Merchant, and Alfonsetti. This is a critical line for NC State. It's not one of their checking lines, not one of their depth lines. It's not their top scoring line, but it's a nice middle line. You have two lethal wingers, Trevor Merchant and Tyler Alfonsetti, centered by the anchor, huge body of Will Bieberdorf. It's just an outstanding line that Coach Gazzillo has crafted.
State wins the face-off, shot deflected wide. In the zone now. Hudson's out there with Coquelenberg on the blue line. And I'll tell you what, Hudson's been spectacular for the Pack this year. He really has. I think he's given Coach Mike Gazzillo, he's been about as big of a surprise as anybody. Bryson loses it. Delaware got there, shot knocked down Joey Hall by Joey Hall. Bryson got there again, his centering pass wasn't there. State's got an opportunity now. Alfonsetti 2-on-1, he scores! Tyler Alfonsetti makes it 5-1 NC State.
This second line is incredible for NC State, and Tyler Alfonsetti puts an exclamation point on that statement. What a shot, beats Bernberg glove side. Unbelievable job, and who would have known before the game that NC State would be up 5-1 against the 14-9 Delaware Blue Hens. This is an incredible game going out right now, and the fans are really into it. What a job. Just what a job by NC State.
Yeah, I sure wasn't expecting it. I can't lie, I thought Delaware would be a really tough game for the Pack, but State's been phenomenal. Bimbard collects that one.
Having a little bit of trouble with the music once again. Fans love it.
Players not so much.
Yes.
Especially the Delaware players. The fans are chanting, "What time is it?" 5 past Bimbard. It's some pretty good heckling, I gotta say. Another loose puck. Banishevitz has it blocked. Jimenez out there. State completely dominating this game. Even the first period when State was losing 1-0, Luis Jimenez, excellent play, saved by Bimberg.
Luis Jimenez with the joystick right now. Feel like we're an NHL 18 right now on the Xbox. What a job right there, just juking past his men to get to a high slot shot. Unbelievable job there by Jimenez.
That was a great individual move. State putting their top line back out there. 4-goal lead with 10 minutes to play. And 4-goal lead over Delaware. I guarantee you they've scored 4 goals in 10 minutes plenty of times before. So if you're State, you got to keep playing the way you're playing. If you let the foot off the gas, you might be in trouble. Here's Delaware again, knocked down by Jimenez. Down in the corner, puck gets out. Here comes Banishevitz, and that'll be icing. Delaware got there first.
The thing is with State, they are winning 5-1, but the thing is the stat sheet won't notice how much energy State has right now going into this final 10 minutes of the game here. This is going to be critical. This is the final home game until February 2nd, where the Icepack will face off against Wilmington once again. So this is the final home game. There's a lot of energy that needs to be going on right now, and State's doing a good job of it.
State and Wilmington played one of the best hockey games I've ever seen. I want to say it was in November. State's got a 3-on-2. Todd, actually that's Rushford. Can't get control. Rushford is down. He gets up. Let's see if he goes to the bench or not. Delaware loses it. Joey Hall with a great toe save. Shot was deflected. Hall got his toe out there. Rushford's still skating around out there. Not sure why he didn't go to the bench. I wonder if it was just taking a puck off of his leg or something. He's on the bench now.
He fell over. I hope he's okay.
He looked like he was limping really bad, but he got out of the game. Here's Dewey headed the other way. Mazikowski and DeWitt are tangled up. And another whistle. I'll tell you what, NC State's not the most physical team of all time, but Mazikowski and Koeklenberg aren't two guys that you would really want to.
Mazikowski going to the box.
You don't want to get into a fight or a physical match of any sort with them. Mazikowski heads to the box, as you mentioned.
Yeah, we apologize for any language that you may hear from the fans here at the Raleigh Iceplex here. Fans are obviously getting into it, but we want to apologize if anything goes on the air that is a little bit above the language that we're supposed to use here. But all in all, this has been an intense game, and the fans are really getting into it.
I'll tell you what, the crowd mic, as you mentioned, it's great, really, and it I think it enhances the production. it doesn't always work, unfortunately.
Exactly.
But we've got it working right now, and as you mentioned, sometimes people say things that aren't FCC approved. Delaware on the power play in front of the net. As you mentioned, State's been phenomenal on the power play, and we've got another penalty. State's not sure who it's on, and it's going to be on State. Delaware goalie just tripped Kristoff. So this is going to be a penalty on State. Joey Hall makes the save there on the backhand. State can't touch the puck now. Delaware's got plenty of time on the delayed penalty. State finally touches it.
Yeah, we would like to apologize again for that language here. Fans are getting into it. It's very intense right now. At the other end, there was a trip right there by the goaltender. So something...
Yeah, that was a pretty dirty play. It wasn't called. So Delaware's on a 5-on-3 now. By my count, and as I mentioned, this may not be accurate, this is State's 11th penalty of the game. And I had the same issue against Chapel Hill. I don't understand how State is one of the most disciplined teams out here, and they stay disciplined the whole game, and somehow they end up with more penalties.
Is it a 5-on-3?
It is a 5-on-3
Holy
for a
moly.
minute and 10 seconds. They call the penalty on State, and then the Delaware goalie tripped Kristoff, excuse me, I forgot.
Yeah.
It was Kristoff. He blatantly tripped Kristoff down on the other end while the puck was headed the other way.
And the refs, you know, they have one of the most difficult jobs on the ice, and it's very hard to make every single call. But in that particular situation, the ref was looking at that play. That was a bad move right there. But all in all, I think the refs are doing a good job for everything that's happened tonight, discipline-wise.
Linsmeyer's the one who got called for a penalty. I missed the penalty because I was so confused why Delaware didn't have a penalty called on them. Another save from Joey Hall.
Continuously making saves in traffic, Joey Hall has been making.
Yeah, he's just been spectacular. We talk about him a lot, and rightfully so. He's really earned it tonight. Delaware wins the face-off. Wound up, shot, deflected aside from Joey Hall again, blocker save. Here's Bryson. He fires across. Delaware back up top, and they score.
That was Morse.
Puck was deflected out in front. Not sure who deflected it. 5-2 Delaware. 5-2 NC State, excuse me.
There's not much that State could have done on that one.
Nope.
And it was a deflection out in front. Those are the hardest to stop for any goaltender. But I would say for everything that's gone on tonight, penalty-wise, State did all that they could do, and they've been doing a good job of what they've been doing. So they just need to keep it up. It looks like somebody's taking their time out.
Yeah, Delaware called a timeout. 5-2 Wolfpack, 7:08 to go. This has been a pretty dirty game, if I'm being honest. That trip on the other end of Ryan Kinney. Kristoff, excuse me.
Yeah.
That just wasn't. It just wasn't part of the game, and it's been a physical game, and I get it. In the heat of the moment, sometimes you get caught up, but that's just not part of the game. It's not, and the refs weren't paying attention, and so it went uncalled, and State's got to be frustrated with the refs. I know for a fact, and they've done a phenomenal job overcoming, not letting the refs get to the head and get in the way of how they're playing, and they've just been excellent. 5-2 State. Not sure who that last Delaware goal was for. It was off of a deflection.
I think we're going to say it's Morse up here at PackTV. That's who I saw took the shot.
Yeah, Morse took the shot. You are correct about that.
And we may get the information afterwards about who got the tip out in front, but for now we're going to say it is Morse, the second leading scorer on Delaware.
That one's blocked out in front. A minute to go on Linsmeyer's penalty. Delaware tries to keep it in, and they do. Nice play there. Pass out in front. Joey Hall there again. And he gets the whistle.
Wonderful job there by Joey Hall through traffic, of course.
The extracurriculars have decreased a lot here in the third period.
And we just heard over the PA announcer that they did give it to Morse.
Okay, so it must have been a State player that deflected it.
Yeah, through traffic, it's always difficult to tell who got the goal and who didn't without proper video evidence to do so. But, oh, no, it was a good goal.
Morse's 17th of the season. State whiffs. Delaware whiffs on it. Here comes Johnston the other way. He'll fire, knocked down by Bimbard. He didn't know where it was for a second. He gathers it. Short-handed opportunity there for Eric Johnson, one of State's best penalty killers, and Delaware scores, headed the other way.
I think that was Bryson.
That was Bryson. So back-to-back power play goals for Delaware. And it's 5-3 with 6:12 to go.
That's just really hard to stop a guy like Steven Bryson. That dude is fast. I believe that's his 21st goal of the season.
Yep, it is.
That's just incredible to see that kind of skill that kind of player has. 5-3 now in favor of NC State. They really got to tighten up. Their penalty kill has been looking a little bit sloppy as of late.
Well, it's tough to ask your team to play on the penalty kill all night, and it feels like that's what's happened. Like I said, I'm not a rules expert, but I didn't see those two penalties. And then to miss a blatant trip on the other end on a play that wasn't even part of the game, that's going to be an icing. State's frustrated, and deservedly so, but you still got a 2-goal lead with 5:46 to go.
Yeah, there's not much more you can ask for right now from State except to hold on to what they have. Now it's a 2-goal lead. It's getting late. I'm sure the teams do not want this to go to overtime, but they really got to hold the lead for State and for Delaware. They really need to get as many goals as they can to try and make sure it doesn't go to overtime for them.
That shot goes high. Another player goes down. Wrap around out in front. Delaware player got hit in the face. And there's not going to be a penalty call. Delaware's upset, but I couldn't tell if he got hit by the stick or if it was a flop.
I mean, he held his hands to his face, but he looks like he's
Yeah.
okay right now, so I'm not sure if he was doing something to try to grab the attention of the ref or he legitimately
Yeah.
got hit in the face. I didn't see any stick go up, so that might have just been something he was looking to seek attention right there.
I couldn't tell either. It didn't really look like like he got hit by a stick. He's still complaining. That's Ryan Lowe. It's not my job to call the penalties, so I don't want to sit here and say that they didn't miss the call, that it was the right call, because I honestly don't know. His head certainly jerked back like he had gotten hit in the head with a high stick. There's a pass out front. Loose puck. State tries to get it out. They do. 5-3, 5:19 to go. State leading 7th-ranked Delaware. Like I said, this is the toughest test State will face all season.
And if it wasn't for those penalty kills, State would truly be playing this game spectacularly right now.
Yeah. Another icing.
I'm not sure if that was the right call right there. Bieberdorf was winning that race to that no-touch icing right there.
It looked like it.
But nonetheless, and now go back into the NC State end once again with 5:03 left to go here.
You talk about the penalty kill. I said 11 penalties. I have no idea if that's right anymore, honestly. But, you know, a minute and 45 seconds almost of 5-on-3. It's just hard to ask your team to play on the penalty kill for it like that.
And I'm going to say this with confidence as well. State has given up no goals on even strength, only on the penalty kill.
That is correct.
So that's just an incredible job right there by the even strength. And over time, of course, that penalty kill will get better. It'll just be some time.
But like I said, you've given up 3 power play goals. It's so hard to ask your team to play on the penalty kill for so long, and especially, you know, a minute 45 seconds after you've seemingly been on the penalty kill all night. And, you know, it's a tough ask, and Delaware took advantage. State gets it out of the zone. There's Jimenez. He's out there with Todd and Banashevitz as usual. Wing and Hudson are the defensive pair. 4.5 minutes to go. Delaware's circling. That shot goes behind the net. Banashevitz pokes it ahead. Todd's going to get there. Icing waved off, so we'll keep playing. Delaware looking to set it up. Here they come. 14-9 on the season, as you mentioned. Don't let the record deceive you. They've played some really good teams. Another icing called. That was Hudson. I think he tried to shoot that one on net so that it wouldn't be icing, but it went just wide.
Yeah, that's what Sam Benishevitz did earlier when he was trying to clear it. He got it on the net. And that's just a smart hockey move that they were trying to do right there, but it didn't come out in their favor. With 4:06 left to go, NC State, what they have to do right now is tighten up because they cannot give up these 2 goals. 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. They really need to keep their lead right now.
Like we said, doesn't count as points towards the ACCHL. Next week against Charlotte on Friday will. The State gets it out of the zone. There's Jimenez working hard. He loses the puck. Centering pass. Chris Wing knocks it down. He'll look for help. Can't find any. Circling. He'll get it to Banishevitz. Banishevitz fires it long. Delaware will take over. 3.5 minutes to go. And that'll be an offsides.
Everyone screamed off in the building right there. That was kind of funny. The fans are definitely into it here. It's a very good attendance. We can't see the stanchions, but it looks like they are packed. The bleachers that the Iceplex has right beside the locker rooms. It's a very good night here for NC State hockey.
The crowd's thinned out. It's been such a long game. The second period took forever.
Yeah, especially to be at a hockey game at 11:30 at night. That's dedication.
It started at 8:45 too. That's the craziest thing. That shot goes wide. Usually these games start at 10:15, so we're usually just in the second period right about now. Joey Hall makes a glove save there. Kristoff. Yep. Kristoff shoving Bryson a little bit.
Tempers are flaring high with 3:13 left. You can't really ask for much more. This has been a long game. It's
it
very
has.
late. It's a very long day of classes, last day before the weekend.
Plenty of whistles too that have just dragged this game on. 3:13 to go. State leading 5-3. Jimenez, Todd, Mazikowski, Alfonzetti, and Hudson have the goals for the Pack. Phenomenal balanced scoring effort. Here's Linsmeyer. He'll dump it in further in the offensive zone. Under 3 minutes to go. Here's Kristoff. Delaware gets it out, and we've got another penalty because why not? I think.
It's on Lensmeyer.
It's on Linsmeyer. I don't.
Looks like the ref called it a cross check. I'm not really exactly sure where that happened, though.
I have no idea.
Nonetheless, Lensmeyer sits in the box for 2.
I don't have any answers anymore.
Coach, of course, after the game, when I talk to Coach Gazilla, we're going to find out pretty much almost everything that's happened in this period. Try to figure out, because we're very mistaken up here about something.
State sends it all the way down. 2:40 to go. Big power play here for Delaware. State can kill this one off. They'll win the game. There'll only be about 50 seconds left. But a Delaware score here would make the final couple minutes really interesting. State keeps it in the neutral zone momentarily. Delaware trying to get back in. And it's sent all the way back down, knocked down by Morse. If I'm not mistaken, Morse is a defenseman, and he's their second leading scorer. Don't hold me to that, the fact that he is a defenseman, but seems like he's been playing a lot there.
He's sticking up near the point. Yeah, that's a defenseman.
Yeah, another tripping penalty there. I did see that one. That's going to be on State, so Delaware's going to have a 5-on-3.
And it's on Ellis Rushford again. You know, we got a feel for Ellis Rushford up here. He's just in a lot of bad situations with this stick, and that's just something he can't help. He's into the game, and that's just one of the outcomes that could possibly happen when he's that much into this game. And
so Coach Gazzillo calls a timeout here. I don't think it was his stick. that was the penalty. I think he tripped him with his foot.
Oh.
That's what it looked like to me. It looked inadvertent.
We apologize again for the language that you are hearing from the crowd right now.
It looked inadvertent to me.
Oh, they're kicking Rushford out.
I don't know if it's a rule that if you take too many penalties, you're out of the game. I'm not sure. I don't know if that would be a rule at this point.
I think it's 5 minors. I think, yeah, that's what I remember. It's 4 or 5 minors. If you get a more than that, then they throw you out.
I think that might be the case. Because it wasn't an egregious trip or anything.
Oh, not at all.
He just tripped him.
That's a heartbreaker for Rushford for sure. He's had a fairly good game when he's not been in the penalty box.
So 5-on-3, minute 58 to go on the game, 1:11 to go. I'll tell you what, some of these penalties that they've called, that was the right one. I just haven't seen them, and maybe they have been there, but I just haven't seen them. And State's going to try to hold on the final 2 minutes here. Delaware wins the face-off. Seems like every time they've had a power play, they've won the face-off. There's a shot knocked down by Joey Hall. Rebound went wide. 53 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Here comes Delaware out in front. Joey Hall trying to cover up, and he does. 47 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Minute 34 to go in the game.
There's not much more that I can say except for the fact that NC State is on another 5-on-3 penalty kill. This is not good, especially with a minute 34 left with a 2-goal lead.
State still can't win the face-off. They'd really like to win one of these. That shot goes high. State gets there first. Mazikowski battling. Fans looking for a hold. Puck bounces around. 27 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Shot knocked down. There's a Delaware player laying in front of the net. Here's Bryson again. Pass across, deflected. Nice play from State. Kristoff tries to get there. Can't. I believe that's Mazikowski with him. Hudson in front of the net for the Pack. Those are the 3 penalty killers. 5 seconds to go. And Joey Hall will cover up.
Cam Mazikowski, that was a beautiful job of using his stick to deflect that puck away. He's just had a great game. He's one of our stars of the game, by far, Cam Mazikowski.
50 seconds to go in the game. 3 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Banashevitz is going to take this face-off.
Let's keep an eye on the Delaware net. They may be pulling Bernberg for the remainder of these 50 seconds right here to get that extra attacker on. Anything can happen, so keep an eye on him.
Delaware wins the face-off. Power play is over. In front of the net, State clears it out. Here comes Linsmeyer. He's got an opportunity, and they're going to call a penalty, and it's going to be a penalty shot.
No, it won't.
Oh, he put his hands up. Maybe not.
Because I'm looking at the ref that was down in the corner. This ref up here may have called a penalty shot. I'm not exactly sure because there's 2 refs calling 2 different things.
Okay, so we'll see what happens here. 37.2 seconds to go. State leads 5-3. State will get either a penalty shot or...
This looks like it's a penalty shot because players are crowding towards the benches. It will be a penalty shot.
Yep, it's going to be Linsmeyer. He'll look to salt this one away. And this will be a sweet victory for NC State. 37 seconds to go. Here comes Linsmeyer working into the zone. Bimberg comes out to meet him, and he fires high. So now we'll have a face-off. It's going to be to the left of Bimberg. 37.2 seconds to go, as I mentioned. Actually, it's going to be to the right. They'll go to the other side. Banashevitz, Merchant, Koeklenberg, and O'Rourke out there for the Pack. We want to thank you for sticking with us. This has been a long game. Lots of penalties. Lots of Whistles blown. Delaware wins the faceoff, headed the other way. Under 30 seconds to go. Here's Bryson. He'll work behind the net to that backhand. Centering pass. They shot it wide. 20 seconds to go.
Delaware's not pulling their goaltender. This is interesting.
Banashevitz takes control. He's going to send it all the way down. 15 seconds to go. He put up his hand for icing, the goalie did, but State's on the penalty kill. Joey Hall getting the crowd excited. 5 seconds to go. State's going to win this one. What a win for the NC State Wolfpack over the Delaware Blue Hens. 5-3. NC State holds on late with a couple of big penalty kills. And NC State starts off the second semester with a win over the number 7 ranked Delaware Blue Hens. Your thoughts on the game, Zach?
You know, this was just an incredible game for NC State, momentum-wise, just a complete effort throughout. Penalty killing, of course, was an issue, but what more can you ask? They went 8 for 11. I'm fairly certain on that penalty kill. Whatever
may have been more. I think it was actually 10 for 13.
That's almost over 80% right there. That's very good for NC State. And by far, I think our player of the game up here at PackTV has got to be Cam Mazikowski. He just had an incredible game, several goals, several assists, great defensive positioning. Ethan will be talking to him shortly following the game right here, but he's just done an outstanding job, and just all the other players on this team would just come together, and you would think after a break they would all still be weighed down after holiday goodies and snacks and things like that, but they came back, they gave a lot of energy, and it was just a great game all in all. The fans are ecstatic. They're going home happy after a long game, so a great win by NC State to give them the momentum going into next weekend.
Great win, like you mentioned, NC State getting ready to salute the crowd. The crowd was really good tonight. We'll be back to talk about the rest of the game momentarily with Coach Mike Gazzillo and your player of the game, as you mentioned. Welcome back to the Iceplex here, Raleigh, North Carolina. NC State defeats the Delaware Blue Hens. I'm going to say that as many times as I can here in the last few minutes. 5-3. A balanced scoring effort from NC State. The top line accounted for 3 goals, if I'm not mistaken. Sam Banashevitz had 3 assists. Jimenez, Todd, and Mazikowski all scored. This is the second game in a row we've seen such a good, balanced scoring effort from NC State, and 2 games in a row in which Sam hasn't scored. What does that mean for this team moving forward if they can continue to score like this?
You know, reliance on depth. I think NC State's doing a fine job without Sam Banashevitz scoring. And even when he does score, it's just a little bit of icing on the cake. But the thing is, it's a complete team effort. And that's something you want to see a lot. You're coming from Cam Mazikowski, just all of those guys that are strong on the defense, strong on the offense. You saw a great goal tonight by just many different good players tonight. And that's exactly what you want to see from NC State.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. This team has always been so top line oriented that if you can add in contributions from the second, third, fourth line in the defense, I mean, this team is going to be really hard to stop come Charlottesville. Joey Hall, we talked about him a lot, did not give up a full strength goal is the word I'm looking for. All 3 goals were scored on the power play. State spent pretty much the whole game on the power play, or on the penalty kill, excuse me. What do you have to say about Joey Hall in net today?
This was the best that we've seen him all season by far. Even though he did give up 3 goals, it's not something that looks pretty on the stat sheet. This was his best performance because of the saves that he made in the high-profile areas. Not many saves like these are made, and Joey Hall just had a spectacular game. Out of position at a few points, but that's his style, and it worked for him very well tonight.
Yeah, like I said, I said it with about 10, 12 minutes to go. That was the best I've seen Joey Hall play in 3 years, and if he continues to play like this, State's just going to be an incredibly tough team to beat. Final thing here before we get to some interviews. Delaware is ranked 7th in the country, or in the Southeast, I want to say. In some region, actually. I'm not sure which one. Not a conference game, just the first game of the semester. Doesn't count as points or anything. What kind of win does this, what kind of mojo can NC State take from this big win, even though it's not really going to count in the standings?
I think momentum going into the next weekend for the doubleheader. You saw that this was a big game coming back from a very long break, so getting the win tonight is just going to be huge for the purpose of just being positive. And I think that's just something that the team really needs to focus on going into next weekend.
Yeah, and like I said, this is the best team State plays all year. If they can beat Delaware, they can beat any team in the country. A couple things before we get to interviews. Next week we'll be in Charlotte on Friday, Clemson on Saturday. Catch us on the radio, WKNC 88.1 in Raleigh. If you're not in Raleigh, I'm not sure if there's a way to watch it. We will try to figure something out for those of you outside the Raleigh area. And PNC Arena, we're going to have another game there. Would encourage you to come on out. January 29th, NC State will be playing UNC Chapel Hill once again, State 1 in November. The first game of that series, and that will be the final meeting of the season between those two teams. Zach's going to be back momentarily with Cam Mazikowski. We want to thank you for watching today here on PackTV.
You know, the more I commentate on this sport, the more I realize how short I am. Zach Sawaya alongside Cam Mazikowski here after an amazing 5-3 win over the Delaware Blue Hens. Now, Cam, this is a huge win for the team. Doesn't count towards points in the standings, but for momentum-wise, what does this mean for the team?
I mean, like, Delaware's ranked very high, and we knew they were a really good team, and I think this just is like gives us a lot of confidence to know that we can go out there and beat a team like that if we play our game. So
now, walk us through special teams tonight. Obviously, there was a lot of penalties tonight. Not exactly sure what happened there, but all in all, your penalty kill, besides those lapses, looked fairly strong. What was going on in practice this week to talk about those penalty kills?
We just talked about keeping things tight. We know that they work the puck around really well, and that if we keep it tight, it'll be a lot easier on us, easier to pick guys' sticks up and clear it out. So that was kind of what we focused on. I think it worked out really well.
You had a really beautiful goal going there. I believe it was the second period. Walk us through that goal. What exactly happened there? You got the pass from Sammy.
Yeah, it was a lot of people were in front. Puck just kind of kicked out, and I just wound up right before I got to it and just kind of aimed far side. And happy to see that it went where I was hoping.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot, but you had a lot of good defensive plays as well there. But one guy that was always there for you tonight was Joey Hall. We got to talk about his play tonight. It was absolutely outstanding. So what does his play mean for the team tonight?
It gives everyone else a lot of confidence to know that like he's going to bail you out pretty much every time. I mean, like, the ones that he let in were just us not helping him out, and he bailed us out plenty of times. So, like, Joey was definitely player of the game for me and for every other defenseman, I think. So it was huge.
Now you got a big doubleheader next weekend between Charlotte and Clemson. Charlotte does count towards points, so that's your first game. What's the message to the team this next week getting ready for that long road trip?
Stay hungry. Everyone is pretty excited after this win. I know a lot of guys are probably going to enjoy it and then get back to work on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you here for joining us here on PackTV. I will be shortly back here with Coach Mike Gazzillo to talk about the game. Zach Sawaya alongside Cam Mazikowski, PackTV's player of the game. We'll be right back. Well, alongside Coach Mike Gazzillo here for PackTV, I think we can both agree that was one of the weirdest games that's happened this season so far.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Absolutely, Coach. So one thing I do want to talk about, though, besides all of the penalties, we'll get to that in a bit. That's a long story, but your special teams tonight, power play stepped it up, penalty kill did as best as they could. Talk to us about what you said to the team this past week regarding those special teams areas.
I mean, we worked on it the other night. It always seems like we need to work on the penalty kill, right? And so we do. And Tim Healy, who's been kind of running the penalty kill, he did an outstanding job. Especially with so much going on at times, I just kind of backed off and I let him run the bench and get the right personnel out. And I think he did a great job with it. And the guys responded to him very well. And they worked hard. And we came away with the win out of it.
Sam Benishevitz once again held scoreless. Luis Jimenez did have a goal tonight, but once again the depth stood up for NC State, and you got guys on all four lines contributing. Beautiful job in that second line right there by Merchant and Alfanzetti and Bieberdorf. What can you say about the depth of this team, even coming back after a long break like we had after the backyard brawl?
I mean, well, especially when you come back after a long break, guys are, you could see in practice they were a little tired. I mean, the compete level in practice was very good. That was one thing I was a little concerned about, and I kind of told them that. But the compete level in practice was really good. But you can't always rely on the same guys, and it's important that everybody has their role and they play it. And the depth of the team is strong. I think we did a good job when we did our selections, and I think it's showing. And we're getting the contribution, and that's how you're successful, right? You can't be a one-line or a two-line team. You gotta be 4 lines and 3 lines of D deep, and that's what we had. And Joey played an outstanding game in net, right? So good job.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about Joey tonight. Obviously, those 3 goals that he did allow were goals that I'm sure he would want to have back, but all in all, he gave up no goals on even strength. Your even strength play tonight was perfect. So talk to us about his game and all in all, the even strength game of your team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I'm trying to remember the goals that were scored on them, and the only one that really comes to mind was their third goal, and that was that was just kind of tucked in the corner. That was a well placed shot, and just because of the angle it was, I don't know that he saw it 100%, just because he didn't react as much. And then the second goal, actually, they threw it across to the back door guy who had the shot, but he threw it out to the slot. So, Joey did a good job trying to get there, but just a little late. I don't know. I can't fault him for that. I thought he played an outstanding game. He definitely stayed composed. He can get a little theatrical when things get a little crazy, but he kept composed, and I think that helped his team too.
Now, it's okay if you don't know all the answers to my next question because it was a very confusing situation. What was going on with those penalties? Do you have any sort of idea whatsoever?
Yeah. What in what respect? The amount of them, or the 5-man? I know that the one time they gave the guys came in and they had a couple of headshots at our guys, and so the guy got tossed for it. And I know there was another one where they had the third guy come in, and that guy got tossed for it. The way I feel about the officiating, and I just think that if you don't want to take my opinion on things, and that's all good, you just watch the video for yourself. Watch it like I do. When you see the plays develop, or the goals, or the penalties, stop it, back it up a little bit, and go through it a little slow. And I think I have a pretty good argument.
It was a very long game, of course, and for a lot of PackTV watchers that were watching the game tonight, we were all a little bit curious as to what was going on down on the ice because there was a long stoppage of play for several minutes at a time, and it was a very confusing situation. But all in all, Coach, it was an outstanding game played, and for the most part, your team did stay disciplined. And how is this momentum from this game going to carry over into this long road trip that you got next weekend?
Yeah, there were a couple of things that, Tim and I discussed on the bench about, incorporating in practice. As far as some of the breaks, I think they were just trying to sort some things out, I guess they were trying to do the best they could to get it right in their eyes. But, the guys, obviously, they're in good spirits. They played well. They know they had pretty much a complete game. Can't really ask for more than that, right? So they're all excited about it, and I think we're going to have a couple of good practices. We got a few things that we're going to work on. They know Charlotte's points, so we want to give a good showing down there, and then Clemson's always tough, and then you come back and we got UNC, so we got a road ahead, and they're up for the challenge.
It's a tough challenge ahead, Coach, but we want to thank you for joining us here on PackTV. Signing off for Ethan Berry, I'm Zach Salai. We thank you for joining us here tonight for NC State's rout of the Delaware Blue Hens, 5-3. We thank you for joining us, and be sure to tune into WKNC 88.1 next weekend for the games. And the puck drops can be found online at ncsuhockey.org. Thank you for joining us here tonight. I'm Zach Salai for PackTV.